If your brain's a jumbled mess, feeling tired, under stress, all you have to do is join the stream. And we'll get cozy, laugh at some memes. Where you chill, we'll be chill with you. Problem solving's better with the cozy crew. If you need us to laugh with you, we'll keep it cozy every stream. Why do I keep saying that? Stream with you. How's it going, folks? What's up, chat? Anyone here in the chat? We got some peeps. Hey, say hi in the chat. I'd love to see you. I am here, Dr. Ali, at a completely different time than I am ever streaming. And I'm hoping that this different time can help me to connect with parts of the community that we never ever get a chance to connect with. So it is so good to see you here, folks. I hope I'm connecting with people from all over the place. Let's see. Let's go over some of the chat rules real quick before we get started. So, just as a reminder, this is not therapy at all, far from it. This is a fun, hopefully entertaining, maybe tiny, little tiny bit educational thing that we're doing over here. But remember, this is not a professional therapy thing. If you need some professional support, I got a link in the description to the resources that I recommend. Kindness first here, folks. This whole community, we're about being kind and supportive and helpful with each other. So talk to each other as you would a friend, and approach each other as you would if your friend's having a hard day. How would you show up for that person? That's how we show up for each other in our cozy crew over here. Awkward is welcome. This is a weird thing we're doing. We're connecting over the stream. It's weird. It might be awkward at times. That's totally cool. The goal is not to say the right thing. The goal is to connect, to share, to have fun, to spend this time and enjoy with each other. Remember to keep it light. Stay on topic on whatever funky, weird topic we get into. And no spamming, no going into details on anything that you might be struggling with. You never know what someone else is struggling with. And if the thing that you are having a hard time with might make it harder for someone else if you go into too many details. So keep things light, keep them focused, no spamming, none of that sort of stuff. And yeah, stick with the vibe. We're here to have fun. We're here to connect. We're here to have a cozy time. And with that, folks, check it out. Look at this. Boom, I'm bringing you in. You're officially by request. You are all here now. You are all here in the thing. Good to see you, Ron. Meme Machine, you are back. Good to see you, Meme Machine. Karen, hello. Hello from the Philippines. This is why I wanted to do this at this time. This is like, my kids are all tucked in. This is usually when I'd be getting ready for bed, but I wanted to connect with parts of the community I never see. And we've got huge representation in the Philippines. We have huge representation in Indonesia, in India, in Pakistan. So I hope folks from that region can connect. And then we got some people having insomnia here in California and the United States and all over here, who probably should also be getting ready for bed, but they're not, and they're here. So hello. Nathaniel's here. Nathaniel, where in the world are you? I feel like Nathaniel and Meme Machine have been representing. Good to see you, folks. I'm excited to be here. So if this is your first time at a Cozy Brain Hour, welcome. We're going to have a fun time. And it's probably many of your first times, because this is only the second one I've done. This is the Cozy Brain Hour 2. what did I call it? The Cozy Strikes Back. So I'm gonna be doing some silly names for all of these. Nathaniel is in North Carolina. Nathaniel, it is very late over there. Are you a night owl? Are you having a hard time falling asleep? Or is this like pretty typical? Maybe you work during the day. I mean, you work at night. I don't know, but definitely happy to have you here. And you're up late. You're up much later than me. Miss Slayer, it's 2:35 a.m. here. I am lying in bed. Miss Slayer, do you need some ASMR? Do you need some custom Alimatu ASMR? Does it chill you out? Do you have a favorite subject that or topic that you want me to do some ASMR on right now? I could definitely do that for you. Let me know. Let me know. But glad to have you here, Miss Slayer. Me Machine says, definitely getting ready for bed on the East Coast. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Oh my gosh, we have Kuwait representing. Can you make a video or shorten your live with the title, Why People Drain Your Energy? I like the title, but would like a smaller video. Yes, that's coming. That's coming. Okay, so I have sat down to make a shorter version of my um, dead social battery video. However, two things going on. One, my wife is away on a very long business trip. She is coming back Monday. She's been gone for about 3 weeks. And so I've just been home with my kids. And I thought I would get it done this week. But then both my kids came down with a cold. They couldn't go to school. They've been home all day. So my time has not been the most productive in terms of work. It has been very productive as a dad. I've been overly productive on that. But yeah, that video is coming. That video is coming, and this is I'm so excited to be here representing and connecting for other people. Miss Slayer, okay, I won't give you the ASMR, but if you need it anytime. Wait, that's not a good ASMR. If you need the ASMR, let me know. I can always make it happen. Nathaniel says, I took a long nap after exercise in the late afternoon, so I'm a bit restless. Dude, Nathaniel, that happened. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my son is 3 years old, and he really loves, like me, really loves film score music. I think he's pretty auditory like me. Like he really clues into sound. I think part of that it's something we just both biologically share in common. And then I think the environmental piece is that I play a lot of film score music and he's really into it. And he really loves the Jurassic Park film score, which is great. It's my favorite film score of all time. So I play it as I'm tucking him in to bed. And it's so soothing to me. I know that score so well that I always fall asleep. I don't always, but I did yesterday. I fell asleep as I was tucking him in, which was a problem because my daughter was waiting for me so I could tuck her in next. And it also meant I got like an hour chunk of sleep at like 8:30 p.m. that I shouldn't have gotten. And then it made it so hard to fall asleep later. So Nathaniel, I gotcha. I feel ya. And that is something I go through too. All right, folks, cozy brain hour. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to have some peppermint tea. This is my evening beverage of choice. Oh, it smells so good. It's so relaxing, so soothing. I love the peppermint hot tea. Here's how the cozy brain hour works, and we'll see. Maybe we go for an hour. Maybe we go a little bit longer. I don't know. We'll see. I got my wheel of cozy games here, folks. I spin the wheel. It lands on a game, and then we play that game. It's gonna be fun. The games are like mostly like, me doing things that you tell me to do. Miss Slayer says I've been wanting to watch Jurassic Park again lately. I can hear the music right now. Na 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 do 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 do. I love that. I love that movie. I love that film score. Oh my gosh. And every sequel is so bad. Every sequel is so terrible. The new one that just came out, I just watched it with the kids last week, and all the dinosaur. The newest one has such care and attention to every dinosaur scene, but all the human characters are so stupid. They're so bad. They're so bad. Meme Machine says, I started drinking chai again, and for the first cozy brain hour, yes, 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 yes. Sorry, but Meme Machine, I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like what I have to say. My mom's chai is definitely better than yours. Hate to tell you this, but it is absolutely. I don't even have to drink your chai, Meme Machine. Miss Lair, I also don't even have to touch your chai because I know my mom's chai is the best, made with love and attention and just such, oh my God, the layers of aroma. It's the best. That is why I actually don't make chai myself, because every chai I make is so inferior to my mom's, and I always compare them to my mom's. So I can't do it. I can't do it. Let's see. All right. Okay. So here we go, folks. Okay. I started drinking. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I already read that comment. Okay, so here's we're gonna play a game. So I took out all the games that we played last time on the last Cozy Brain Hour, and I added some new ones. So I'm kind of excited. We're gonna see what happens. Some of these games might not even work well. Who knows? I don't know. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna figure it out. Y'all ready? Ready for Are you ready for this? I'm so nervous. What did I get? Okay. We got the validation game. We got the validation game. I don't know, Meme Machine, was this your idea from the last one? So here's how we play the validation game. I'm making it up as we go because this is the first time we're playing the validation game. Okay, the validation game is you give me a situation. It could be a real situation that you have gone through or someone you know has gone through. It might be a situation you've heard about that seems like how could you possibly find a way to validate this experience? And what we mean by validation is sort of helping the person to make sense of why it makes sense that they might be going through this thing. So I want some emotional situations, real or fictional, that are really tough, really difficult, really easy to judge the other person for why they're in this. And my job in, let's say, I'm gonna put on a timer here. My job in like a minute time is to try to figure out how the heck to validate this experience. This is what we're gonna try to do. Oh no, I already set the timer. Okay, I'll let me get the timer ready again, and then we'll put it on. All right. So while I'm getting the timer ready, folks, I need a really difficult emotional situation from you all, and it's going to be something that is really tough to find validation for. Give me some situations, folks. Back on the topic of Jurassic Park, Miss Slayer says, I actually read the book when I was 11 and saw the OG movie when it came out in theaters. I'm old. Nah, just a tiny bit older than me, but not like maybe by like a year. Because the movie came out when I was like 10, I want to say. And it was the first time I went to a movie theater and I saw something that felt like I had never seen before because of the effects, because of all of that. But I also felt like I was transported to, like, while I was watching that movie, I was in Jurassic Park. I went on a journey through the movie, through the music, through everything. That's probably why it remains my favorite movie of all time and favorite score and all of that. All right, chat. I need a situation. I need a very difficult situation to validate. Again, real or fictional. This could be something that just you hear the situation makes you angry. Some kind of villain in a movie. It could be someone who's done something who you absolutely hate. I don't know. Give me give me a situation. Um, I want to get this timer going because I want. Let me see. How do I start my timer? I put the timer up there. Do I even know how to start it? Come on, Ollie. How do I start my timer? Let's see. I think I don't. I can auto start it. All right. Okay. Well, I got it ready to go once we have a good situation here. This sounds great, Miss Slayer. This sounds great, but sleep is calling, so I'm going to turn in. We'll definitely tune in for the next one. Bye. Good to see you, Miss Slayer. Have beautiful dreams of dinosaurs. I don't know, but like friendly, nice ones. Vegisauruses, as they say in Jurassic Park. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. All right, folks. I need a difficult emotional situation. Please don't make me go to ChatGPT and ask it for one. Who's got a really difficult emotional situation for me to use for the validation game? I want something hard. I want something difficult. Something that's difficult to validate. Yeah. I want to validate something real difficult. Give me a thing so I can stop singing. Okay, here we go. Karen's got something. Karen, you are my hero. All right. Let me read this out loud. Situation: leaving your mother in a nursing home for the first time, and she begs you not to leave her behind, feeling guilty to the max. Oof. All right. So here it comes. So Karen, I'm just for pretend I'm gonna direct this as if you're the person saying this. You might not be. Maybe you are. Who knows? I don't know. I can't read minds, contrary to popular belief. But I'm gonna direct this as if it was you. So Karen, I can completely understand that guilt. I mean, one of the things that we are wired to do as kids is to love our parents. And you have been such a good daughter to your mom, and you have been struggling to continue to support her in all the best ways that you possibly can, and to love her in all the ways that you possibly can love her, while you're also trying to keep her safe, while you're trying to make sure all of her needs are met, while you're also trying to take care of yourself. and doing all the work that you have to do and showing up for all the other people in your life. And it makes so much sense why you might be feeling guilt in this situation, because this is such a big change from what you have been doing. And it can feel so much like you're doing the wrong thing, because this is a step away from your mom being there with you, being present with your mom on such a regular basis. And it's also a step away from independence, from your mom's independence, towards something where she's more dependent, out of her home and away from you. And at first, that can feel like you're doing the wrong thing. But sometimes doing the right thing feels like the wrong thing because it's so different from the way things have been. And what your mom needs now is a level of care and support that is just beyond what you can provide by yourself. And most likely, if you tried to, you wouldn't be able to really give her the kind of support that she needs. So if you are feeling that guilt, I want you to remember this. And I want you to remember that getting stuck on that guilt is just going to keep you stuck. So remember that you are doing what a loving, supportive, compassionate daughter does. And at this point in your relationship with your mom, that means helping her in the way that she needs to be helped. I didn't even set the timer. Whoops. I went on for so long. I went on way more than a minute. But how was that? How was that? That is a tough situation, Karen. I don't know if you're actually in that situation or not, but it is something that I think so many people of my generation are dealing with right now, is having parents that are aging. And also some of us are, we're trying to live our lives and work, and some of us also have families. And so carrying up towards our elders and carrying down towards the younger generation while also trying to keep your work going, it's a lot and it's hard. And I feel you. I feel you there. All right. That was the validation game. Ready for the next one, folks? Here we go. Here we go. And care package. All right, care package. Here we go. Here's how we play care package. So, I need. Nathaniel says. Oh, Nathaniel, now I got yours. This was probably for the validation game. Withholding a concern about a significant other's condition because knowing might lead them to experience discrimination under new government health policies. I think I'm glad I did carrots instead. That's a tough situation. But maybe we could pivot this into this next exercise. All right, we're doing care package. Care package is we're going to pick one person in the chat and send them some supportive, caring vibes here through the chat. So I need someone to volunteer who might need just a little bit extra kindness right now. Who in the chat would like to volunteer for the care package? You're just gonna receive goodness. That's what. I'm not like actually mailing things right now. I wish I could, but people from all over the world are watching. I don't know if I can pay for the shipping costs to all over the world. But this is just, you're gonna receive some verbal care from all of us, verbal support. I might ask you a few things about things you like, and then we're gonna send some kindness your way. Anyone in the chat want to volunteer here? Let me see. We got a new comment here. Let's see. An 18-year-old guy dropped out of high school because he wouldn't get out of bed due to his father and mother's divorce. He was extremely depressed, and I tried so much to help him see a doctor, or even getting out of bed to see the sun, to get back to high school, getting his driver's license, and then go to college to get a job. But he doesn't want that. He's just sitting around all day, playing video game and living day by day, spending money as he's from his parents and his relative, and I feel like I must help him. Okay, we're gonna send. Let's send TGSE. Is it Q or O? OAT. A little bit of love. So here's a situation that TGSE OAT is in. They know someone who is really, they know this 18-year-old guy who is dropped out of school, struggling. Parents are divorced. He's extremely depressed, and TGSE OAT wants to help them and is having a really hard time helping this person. Sounds like you're probably worried about this person. And this person is just mostly playing video games all day and spending money, not really feeling much of a sense of direction. Okay, so let's send this person a little love. Not the teenager who is struggling, although I send them love and kindness too. But I'm gonna send a little bit of love your way, TGSE OAT. I think it's awesome that you are concerned about this person. I think that shows your compassion, and it shows how much you care about other people. And that pain that you're feeling is a sign that you care. And I think we need more people like you in the world who are willing to, who are stressed about someone else in their life. It doesn't sound like you're related to this person. So it sounds like you know this kid, you know this younger person, and you're stressed about them and their situation. You're worried about them. And I love that you are worried about them because it shows you care about them. And so that part of you, I think, is one of the best parts of you. And we all need more people like that, people who care about, especially about young people who are, there's so many reasons why they're struggling right now. So many. And so I really appreciate that. And, all right, here's part of the care. I know that feels good to hear that. And you're like, oh, shucks. And here's a little gift I want to give you. First, I need a little bit of my tea. You cannot help someone who does not want to be helped. It's impossible. So I struggled with this myself with my brother. My brother, if you all don't know, my brother died by suicide a long time ago now, in 2008, and it's been a very long time. But in the years leading up to his death, I was trying to help him, and he wasn't really taking my help. And I was working on this with my therapist. I was in grad school at the time. And I was, I don't even know what year of my PhD it was, maybe third or fourth year. And I was telling my therapist about some of this stuff. And he told me a story. And he said, Ali, imagine that you're walking on a bridge and you see that someone is in the water and they're drowning and they're asking for help. And immediately you want to help them. and you find a rope and you throw a rope and you're holding the rope and you tell that person, grab hold of the rope, I'll pull you out, and that person refuses to grab that rope. There's nothing you can do to force that person to grab onto that rope. There's nothing you can do. You can't force them to do that. But what you can do is you can consistently be there. You can consistently be a part of that person's life. You can form a relationship and keep showing up. And that, I think, is probably the best thing you've got in this situation. I don't know where that really works in with the analogy I just gave. I guess that means you can stay there and you can keep trying to give them the rope, but you can't force them to take it. You just have to. You can do your best, but you can't force someone to. So remember that if you are getting really upset about this, remember that you can't force anyone to change. You can't force anyone to get help when they don't want it. The other thing that I also want you to know here, part of this care package, usually I thought maybe this game would be more about saying nice things and sending you funny memes and maybe sharing some songs that have been helpful, stuff like that. But I think one thing here that might be helpful is if you've been a part of this young person's life, you already don't know all the times that you've really been helpful to them. But I gotta imagine it's probably more than one time that you've been there for this young person and kind of made a big difference for them. So these are some of the big things I want you to remember. These are some of the big things I want you to know. Anything that helps you to be a part of that person's life is going to be good. So just showing up, maybe bringing some food over, just hanging out, all that stuff is good. The other thing I would really encourage you to do, so it sounds like that person's playing video games, ask them what they're playing. See if you can play with them. Ask them what they like about this game. Show interest in their life and actually mean it. Try to understand what is the stuff in their life that they're actually interested in. And that's no small thing. That's actually a big thing. Most people, especially most young people, no one asks them that question. What games are you playing? What do you like about those games? What interests you about those games? Can I play with you? Or TV show or music or anything that the person's into. If the person's not into anything in life except these things, try to understand them and try to understand what are these things doing for them. That's at least one place you can start, and you can hopefully build out from there. If anyone's got anything to add in the comments or any kind words of support that you want to share with TGSEOAT, please do. That's a big part of the care package. All right, let's see. Let's spin the wheel. This is some. We've had some heavy ones. I'm gonna root for something a little not dark, a little light. That's what I was gonna say. Here we go. Cozy Confessions. Oh man. All right, Cozy Confessions. All right, folks. I need a topic from all of you. It can be anything you want. And then I am going to give you a confession related to that topic. The goal of this game is to make it easy to talk about something that's really hard to talk about. So give me a word or a topic or an idea, and I'm gonna find some kind of real, honest confessional about that. Crow says, "Hey Doc, looking good. We comfy over here." Yeah, I'm comfy. I got one of my favorite T-shirts on. This is my Muhammad Ali T-shirt. I got this. Part of the reason I'm named Ali is because of Muhammad Ali, and he was always, if you're not familiar, greatest boxer of all time. He was also a massive humanitarian. Also stood up for a lot of social justice issues. Big hero of mine growing up. And recently I got to speak in his hometown, and I got to visit the Muhammad Ali Center, and I spent way too much money buying shirts and sweatshirts and stickers and all sorts of stuff that have Muhammad Ali written all over it. I spent a lot of money at that place. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Nice shirt. Would this topic be relatable? Familiar. Oh my gosh, it's too late for me to say that word. Familiar. Family related. I'm just gonna say family related. It is past midnight over here, folks. Family relationships. Confrontation about setting boundaries. Okay. Let me find a confessional about that. Okay. So I am thinking I'm going to share my thought process here. Numra, good to see you. I'm doing well. How are you doing? And where in the world are you? Ray says, related to that, emotionally immature parents. These are really good. Okay, so we're playing Cozy Confessionals here. So this is where I take a topic from you all and give you a real world confession about it. Now, this real world confession, what's going through my head is, do I find a confession from my childhood? Do I find a confession from my life now as a parent? Do I find some version of a story that I've experienced as a psychologist? There's a lot here. Okay, let me find a which. Do you all have a preference? Do you all want something from my childhood? Do you all want something from my life as a parent? Do you want something from my work that I've done? Good to see you, Flora. Good to see you. Welcome. Duff! Dr. Duff is here. What's up, man? Good to see you. I feel like I was gonna say like around a colleague, but beyond being around a colleague, I feel like I'm with another YouTube celeb here. Duff the Psych. I've known this guy through YouTube going back years, man. We go way back. So good to see you here. And it's been awesome to see you in the comments and to reconnect. Really good to see you here. Okay, so you had a comment. Alternate confessional softball, something you do when no one else is around, but like the super weird stuff. Oh my god. So here, I like this one. This one might be a little bit easier. Let's ease into it. I'll do this one, and then if you all have like more specific of the family stuff, I know you mentioned family and boundaries. If you want something from my childhood, from my life now as like an actual parent, or from something maybe I've experienced related to my work, let me know. But let me take one from Duff. So all right, I'm talking out loud here. We're doing cozy confessionals, real life confessionals from Dr. Ali, and I like Dr. Duff's here. Alternate confessional, softball, something you do when no one else is around, but like the super weird stuff. Um, there are so many things. The problem with this is it's very hard to know what you do and if it's weird. Like the immediate first thing that came to mind, Dr. Duff, is I re- I feel I mean, here's the thing about this, folks. Here's the thing about shame. It's so secretive and keeps you stuck and holds you back. And I'm feeling so much of it right now before I even say this is it's probably something I know you all do, or at least many of you do. But um okay, Dr. Duff, I really like clipping my nails and then smelling them. I really enjoy doing that. And for whatever reason, like my thumb, it has like this, or my big toe, I should say, has like probably the most strong smell out of all of them. Most of them don't actually smell that great, but my big toe usually that's a winner. So that's not something I do all the time. I do that like, like once a week, once every other week, however long I do that, but I really enjoy doing that. Does that qualify? Is that like super weird? Is that a good one? All right, Dr. Duff says, I'm dying. This is such a good one. Okay, so maybe this isn't something that everyone does. Crows helping me out here. Same. I like to smell the clipped toes. So good, right? Let's me gauge how my hygiene is in my head. So, true story. I used to live in New York City, and you see some wild stuff on the subway there. But one time I was on the subway with my wife, and some dude just is on the subway, right? And then they're on the subway seat. They put their legs up on the seat, take off their shoe, take off their sock, whip out some nail clippers, and just start clipping their nails on a subway that has like a lot of other people on, and completely is just acting like it's the most normal thing in the world to be doing. And the rest of us, like in the subway car, we're all looking and like kind of like horrified at all of this. But yeah, that's kind of the weird. And we're also like watching out in case any of those toenails go like flying all over the place. That's New York City, man. It is a wild, wild place. Ray says that was unexpected. Maybe in relation to me smelling the toenails, but it's good stuff, man. And you know what also, Dr. Duff, what also really annoys me is so gosh. So usually, like on most of the nails, I just try to get them off in multiple clips. But the big one, I try to save that honker and get it in one, so that I can really enjoy that one. And then if that one goes flying, and then like I don't know where it went, that's the most disappointing. I get so frustrated when that happens. Yeah. Racist, but the more important question, did that person smell them? I don't, dude, Ray, I think no. I think if I it's hard to remember because most of my memory of this moment is just disgust. Disgust that this person's doing it on the subway, right? But the thing I if I might be just making this up, but I think their primary goal was just to clip the nails. They weren't a saverer like me. They were a more industrious, let's get this done. I'm on the subway. I got nothing else going on. I clip them here. This is going to save me time later on at home that I can spend doing whatever other things that is going on here. Um, Crow says, Doc, be glad their pants aren't ripped from the crotch part. I had a similar experience, but on a public bench in the mall here, the dude didn't have any underwear. What? What? That, that interesting stuff. Interesting. Humans are very interesting. And TGSEOAT says, one day in the car in front of me, someone started clipping his fingernails through the window. He was a taxi driver, and we were sitting at the red light. People, I guess, just clip. They clip their nails if and where and when they didn't need to. KB Live, good to see you, KB Live. We were commenting in the post section. Good to see you here. And you had a ton of great comments this week. Great to see you. I didn't know nails have a smell, and I'm super smell sensitive. Well, you might like them. Or you might be like, Dr. Ali has led me down the wrong path. You know what? Most of my nails don't have a smell. It's really the thumbs and the big toes. But your mileage may vary, I guess. Ray says, logically, with how dirty the subway is, clipped nails might be the cleanest thing. Yeah, that is absolutely true. Mimi Sheen says, I rip my nails off when I'm driving. I always find a jagged edge when sitting in public. And Crow says, one of the times I've seen another man's family jewels aside from my father's, both instances that give me a bit of a memory. KB says, like toe cheese. This is okay. I am loving this conversation, folks. I am loving it. Thank you, Dr. Duff, for taking us down this path. One of my clinical expertise is BFRBs, body focused repetitive behavior. BFRB body. This is what happens when you record at past midnight. Body focused repetitive behavior, BFRBs. Behaviors. Yeah. So things like nail biting, hair pulling, skin picking, all of that sort of stuff. And one of the things, see you, Dr. Duff. Have a good night. Hopefully you dream of sweet, clean cuticles. Good to see you again, Dr. Duff. Big fan of Dr. Duff's and the OG psychologist on YouTube here. So the thing with BFRBs, body focused repetitive behavior disorders, or body focused repetitive behavior problems, is that the thing I always tell people is these are normal grooming behaviors gone awry. We all do grooming stuff. If we have dry skin, we might sort of pick at it a little bit, get it off, kind of get like sunburn flakes off. Fun fact, one of the cool things about having melanin and being a brown guy, I've only had one sunburn in my entire life. And it was when I was out once for like 9 hours for the whole day. And I got a minor sunburn on my neck. And I was like, what is this? I was like 30 years old. I'm like, what is this? And my friend, who's super pale and gets sunburn all the time, he's like, Ollie, I think you got a sunburn. And I'm like, whoa, this is what you feel all the time? This sucks. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, one of the advantages of my skin. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, BFRBs. So body focused repetitive behaviors. Their normal grooming behaviors gone awry. So when we're all are overstressed, animals included, when we're overstressed, our grooming behaviors get a little out of whack. So you see that with like things like depression. It's hard to get the energy to sort of take care of yourself. But if horses, birds, mice, all these animals, when they're too contained and their stress goes high, their grooming gets out of whack. So mice, like barbering mice, they can pull their skin forward a little bit, and they can chomp on it, and they can pull their hair out that way. Horses can do that as well. Horses don't have hair; they have Do they have, what do you call horses thing? I don't know. Fur? Is it fur? I don't know. I'm a human psychologist, not a horse psychologist. And then birds. Birds can pull their feathers out, and all these animals, when they're overstressed, their grooming gets out of whack. And the same thing's true with humans. So people who have body focus repetitive behavior problems like nail biting, nose picking, skin picking, hair pulling, all that sort of stuff, their normal ways of dealing with their emotions, their emotion regulation, doesn't work as well as it should. And one of the ways that they have developed as a way of dealing with that are these body focused behaviors. So that's something I tell people. We all do grooming stuff, and some of it feels kind of weird. Like looking at, inspecting, smelling, sniffing, cutting, things like that. We all do this stuff to some degree. It's pretty common. It only becomes a problem when it becomes a problem, which is like so much of mental health. It only becomes a problem if it becomes a problem. How's your sleep? Yeah, is it good or is it a problem? Okay, now it's a problem. That's good. I feel like a lot of our stuff. Like, oh, okay, how's your eating? Okay, it's good. No, it's a problem now. Okay, it's a problem. So it's a problem. KB says, I repeatedly rub one fingernail under another and go one finger to the next one over and over. It's unconscious. Yeah, we all kind of do these things, right? And sometimes we don't notice it. We don't realize it until someone else tells us this. Numera says, I'm from India. I started college a few days ago. Congratulations on starting. I'm doing a bachelor's in psychology. Oh my God! Double congratulations on the psychology. I need tips on stuff to do when you step into the field. Also, your personal experience when you started out, please. Okay, so check out my videos on I think I have a video called tips for psychology majors, or things I wish I knew before I became a therapist. Those two videos will cover all of that. My main tip for you right now is don't worry too much about going into the field. You just started college. So what I would do is focus on getting really good at your classes and learning this material. And then talk to your professors, talk to your teachers, ask them a ton of questions. Ask them about opportunities in your local environment. And if you keep doing those two things, getting good at learning, I have a video on how to learn psychology fast. Watch that one. If you do that, and if you talk to your professors, and if you learn about local opportunities, you'll be good. That'll kind of guide you down the right path. KB says, you're in San Diego. I was just in San Diego a month ago for Comic-Con. So hello to your city. Your city is not fair. It's not fair. Every single day, like, the weather is perfect. It's so not fair. Let's see. All right. Crow says, exactly, Doc. I don't lump activities and habits together with addiction. Only when it becomes a problem or affects someone negatively in my life, it becomes a problem. Yeah, it's we're wired for connection. We're wired for connection, and if we don't have enough connection from people, we will get connection from things. And that's just kind of the way it goes. And please don't spam in the chat, otherwise you will get removed, as thumbnail artist just did. All right. So let's do another game. All right, folks, ready? Here we go. We're going to skip that one because it's it's Tell a Friend. That's very similar to the last couple of games we did. We need something a little different. Analyze this. Yes, I was hoping we'd get to do this. All right, analyze this. So this is a game. Ooh, I just came up with this game. I came up with this idea for this game this morning, and I'm very excited to play this one with you. All right, so this game, the way it is played is I am going to put up a picture from a real life picture from my life. And I am playing on the idea of like whenever I tell people this happened when I was a Numera, this might happen to you now that you're studying psychology. But whenever I would tell people that I study psychology or that I'm a psychologist, people would say like, "Oh, are you analyzing me right now?" And it's like, no, because number one, that is not what we learn in psychology. How do you analyze people? That is not what you learn. And number two, what people think of as analyzing is like trying to understand who you are, why are you doing these things, what's driving you. It's something that I do in collaboration with someone else in the context of total privacy and total support. And that is not something we just like randomly do. It's impossible to do with someone else without their permission because it involves talking and understanding. So this is a play on that. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to pull up these three. I'm going to, well, just one. We're going to start with one picture from my life. Here it is. Here it comes. All right, this is a real world moment in time. And what I want you to do is I want you to analyze this. What do y'all think is going on in this picture? What do you think is happening? What thoughts might be going on in my head here? What might I be feeling? What situation might I be in? What is happening here? This is a real life situation that happened. I'll tell you the story afterwards. But I'm kind of curious. Like, analyze me here. What do you think is happening here in this situation? What do you think is happening in this real life situation that happened? All right, Crow says, deep thoughts going on in a comfortable place, feeling a bit of contemplation. All right, interesting. I can definitely see how you're getting all of that. The vibe definitely is of like deep thoughts there. I definitely see that. Or Crow says, or maybe watching a good game. Maybe it's just like I'm very passive, just totally absorbed in something. Okay, interesting. What else do people think? We're playing analyze this. I want you to analyze me right here in this moment, in this picture, right? No, other side. Boom. Analyze me in this picture. What do you think is happening here? Ray says, I see stress, worry, and being stuck, like COVID isolation. Oh, interesting. That is, the COVID isolation part, I would have never have thought. This is so interesting, folks. This is why, like, you see someone and it is so impossible to know what the other person is feeling and thinking. I am professionally trained to do this, and I am so often wrong when I ask someone, oh, was this going on for you? And they're like, no, that wasn't going on for me at all. And that is why we ask those cliche questions of like, oh, well, what were you feeling? What were you thinking? What was going on for you? How did that make you feel? Because we really don't know. And if we assume, well, then we make a butt out of you and me. KB Live says, seeing possibilities on the hillside and people watching. That sounds really sweet and nice. I really like that situation. I really like that one. All right. Admiring something or deep thinking. So this is the second time we're seeing now. So Sophia says admiring something or deep thinking. This is the second time we're seeing deep thinking over here. Um, Crow says, "Well, you wouldn't be tucked in with your elbow for comfortably, or else you'd be using a table." Oh, interesting. I love that you're kind of like taking in all the details here and looking at like where my elbows are and all that stuff. Um, and Puddle Splasher 7, let's see, let's bring your comment here. Meal with a friend. They stepped away to the bathroom and now reviewing what was discussed and feeling quiet joy or connectedness. Puddle Splasher, if that's the case, then who took this picture? Who took that picture? Layla P. Layla, good to see you again. Says maybe grieving. Ooh, we haven't heard that yet in the chat. Folks, do you see like this is so cool. I love this. The like range of responses we're getting here. And Numera says, I think you're thinking about the meaning of life and practicing introspection. Whew. Your question kind of makes me think about those things in the moment now. That's big. That's a big one here. Layla says, I was originally going to say contemplation, but went with something else. That's all good. Meme Machine closed posture and turned away from the person holding the camera. Yeah, I want to tell you things, but I want to get everyone's responses before. Just enjoying the nature, I guess, says Prashu. These are all really good responses. Okay, so here's the story. I had no idea that my friend was taking this picture. My friend, I think, is there one more? Crow says, I work in mentalization and statistics, so I can only assume that this is just for the post. And Karen says, thinking for possible options like prioritizing this over that. Okay. And Ray says, it's a bright day with the sun gleaming. You might be in awe and wonderment of nature. Wow, this is so interesting. It is so interesting what people think and what reality actually is. So first off, let's just kind of work backwards from there. So right here, gosh, why is this so hard? Okay, boom, no, I need to go here. Okay, okay, here we go. Sorry, folks. So this bright light that you're seeing over here, that is not outside. That is quite inside. That is a screen and an image being projected on that screen. I'm at an inside, like a small venue, like a performance venue. And it's actually like 9 p.m. at this time. It's very much not a bright day at all. And it is my friend is taking this picture. My friend Diana is taking the picture. Did the chat stop here? Did the chat stop updating? That is so weird. Has it been going? Let me see if I can fix this for you all, folks. That is weird. Okay, there we go. That should fix the chat. Sorry about that. So this was nighttime. It did look like a window. Yeah, I agree, Puddle Splasher. But it definitely was not a window. All right, so I think the chat froze when I kicked out the person who was spamming. But it looks like it's working now. Yay! All right, chat's back. All right, so my friend Diana took this picture This is right before I was about to perform some mental health stand-up. Yeah, I agree. Crow says this exercise also shows how social media works. And so you see people post stuff for the gram or for the likes or for whatever it might be, and you don't really know the full story behind it. And my friend took this picture. It was right before, like this is about 2 minutes before I was about to perform some stand-up comedy. I was going to perform a set about anxiety, treating anxiety problems. And she thought I looked so calm, cool, collected, and confident in this moment. And she took this picture because she just thought, like, wow, like Ali is really in the zone, so focused, and he's gonna nail this. And folks, I was so panicking. I was so full of panic in this moment. And what I absolutely remember feeling in this moment is trying so hard to quiet my thoughts of failure. That is what was going on in this moment. I was watching the person perform in front of me, and that I knew after this person, it's my turn. And I was so stressed because this was a second chance someone gave. So the whole material that I had set up was actually for a performance about a month ago. For it was like comedy. It was a comedy week in New York City, and a bunch of different places were doing like comedy shows. And I signed up for this training that was designed to help like science people perform comedy. And so I signed up, and this teacher taught us how to do comedy, how to find the most ridiculous things about the work that we do, how to tell a story about it, how to put together different bits and make a set. And she helped me make this 8-minute set. And I got up there to perform it, and, I went past 8 minutes. I went past 10 minutes. I went to like 15 minutes. And there was this clock in the back of the theater, and I didn't see it. That clock was like timing down. And they actually got up on stage to pull me off because I didn't notice any of the like things that they were doing, like, stop, you're done, you're out of time, you're done. I didn't notice any of that because I was just kind of doing my thing and saying my stuff. And when that happened, when they came to pull me off, I was so I had no idea what what had happened. So I said, "What? Did I go over time?" And they're like, "Yeah, you went over by like 10 minutes. We were trying to get your attention. You didn't even pay attention to us." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, okay. Um, so how'd I do?" KB says none of us were close. Wow, yeah. This is what happens. This is what happens between like any human being you see. Don't like forget a picture and forget social media, but like any person you see, you have no idea what they're actually going through. And so um when they pulled me off stage, they said, "Ali, you had 8 minutes of good material. You did not have 18 minutes of good material." And I felt so bad. I felt so ashamed. I felt like not only did I let that person down, the person who taught me and who was doing the show, but I also like one of the most important things to me is if I make an agreement to someone else to see that agreement through. So that could be like a friend or family member or a class that I'm teaching, or you all when I'm promising to show up for this stream, showing up in my videos, trying to show up for the community here. When I make a promise to other people, I want to see it through. And I made a promise to try to do a good job with that, and I felt like I really didn't. And I felt so ashamed. And so I pleaded with that person who ran that show. I said, if you ever have another chance that I can come and make this up and try to do better, please give me that chance. And she did. And this picture is right before that second chance. Right before that second chance. Right before I was going on stage to perform again. And so you might be wondering, like, here's the shot, just the other angle of it. So there we go. So that is me right as soon as I get up on stage. My friend took that shot from the same spot that she was seated. So you can see, like, I was sitting next to the stage, and there I am going up on stage, and I'm starting to perform right over there. And the lights are so bright that it's so hard to see anyone and see how I'm doing. Um, and then here's a shot that'll kind of show you. You can kind of see what you thought was that bright window is actually just that little background right over there that was shining through. So the whole moment was me just being worried about that performance and being so in my head about it. Meme Machine says, awesome job being able to come back and try again. Thank you. One of the things that I learned, so how'd it go the second time? The second time went good because I was so focused on that time, on the countdown time. And I was so focused on just nailing the main parts of my story, of my set, before time runs out. I was like incredibly anxious about it. And it's actually a situation where anxiety's good. Anxiety narrowed my attention completely onto that timer. And I had so over prepared that I knew my set inside and out. And I was just focused on that time. And I got it and I did it. And after I was done, the person who put this all together, she said, "Ollie, that was great. You should do this again." And I said, "Thank you. No, I'm never gonna do this again. I am never in my life gonna do this again." It was such a stressful experience. And what I learned about comedy is you have to do it a lot. You have to do it a lot to get good at it. And I just was not in a place where I wanted to do that with my life, to put in those reps to really get good at that kind of activity. That is not for me. I can't do that. But that was what was kind of going on in my head. If you're interested, I have that set on my YouTube channel. I think it's called like Psychologist stand-up comedy or something like that. You can listen to the whole thing. But what was so stressful about it, you'll hear it in the set if you listen to it. But like my opening line, I think, was something like, so I'm a new dad. Any parents in the audience? Silence. No one raises their hand. Nothing at all. And I was like, oh my God. In my head, I was like, all my first jokes are about being a parent. And so I think I just blurred out, I'm like, oh gosh, well, folks, this is going to be a long show then. And a few people laughed. But it's really hard. You have to do it a lot of times to get good at it. And that first time I completely did not do well. And I learned you just kind of have to do it again and again. And I wasn't really in a place to do it. Ray says, please tell us that the nail sniffing made it into the routine. No, it didn't. It didn't at all, because I don't tell that to people. I'm pretty sure this time on the stream is the first time anyone beyond my family has figured out that I do that. All right, folks, let's move on to the next one. That was Analyze This. And that one, I think, is one of my favorites. I want to do that one more. I think we're gonna have to do? I'm gonna keep that. That needs to be a permanent addition here. All right, let's go. What do we got? Karaoke lullaby. We've got karaoke lullaby. All right. So this is the Cozy Brain Hour, and the goal here is to have a cozy experience. So part of being cozy is curling up to a nice, relaxing song. Here's a burp. That's what that was. Here is the challenge. I am gonna do a relaxing, lullaby-ish version of a song you choose. So I need some recommendations for a song. It doesn't have to be a soothing song. It could be one of your favorite songs. It could be a song that you absolutely hate. It could be a song that is the opposite of relaxing. But we're going to try to make it a soothing, cozy experience. So give me some song recommendations, and we are gonna try to. I am gonna try to make it cozy over here for all of us. Ray says your vulnerability is refreshing. To be honest, that was courageous. There's a lot of things I do in my life that are not courageous. But if I have made a commitment, if I've made some kind of social commitment, that is something very important to me. And it also means I don't take social commitments on lightly. Like I say no a lot. And the reason I said yes to the stand-up comedy thing is because it was a big stretch for me. Like I really, really enjoy public speaking stuff. And at that point in my life, I had never done anything like that before. I've also never done anything like that ever since. But I knew it would be a great opportunity for me to push myself and also to do it in a social way. So it was a lot of fun. And KB says, at least you redeemed yourself. Yeah, thank you. I think so. I'm happy with how it ended. Pepicel? Am I saying your name right? I hope so. I might have not. Says, good day, everyone. First time in the live in real time. Too bad I have some errands to run. I'm so happy you're here. I wonder where in the world are you? This is one of my favorite things about doing this stream at such a different time is because we're connecting with so many different people in the community, which is so awesome. All right. Crow says, I don't have any lullabies in mind. They don't have to be lullabies, like real songs. Give me like a non-lullaby song. I'm going to try to lullaby it and make it a cozy thing. That's a whole activity. So give me something, Crow. It doesn't have to be a lullaby. It better not be a lullaby, actually. From mantra, flute, yoga, music, and Skyrim ambient sounds. I can't even I don't even know how I would go there. Mr. Brightside. Oh, Mr. Brightside is pretty good. Let me see. Give me some Black Flies. Ben Howard. I don't know Black Flies. Give me some more stuff, folks. Let's now you all understand the assignment here. Oh man, how would I do Mr. Brightside as a lullaby? How about Frank Sinatra? Frank Sinatra's easy. Crow, Frank Sinatra's too. Like a lot of his stuff it easily can become like soothing and chill. Let's see. We got the comments are coming now. Let's see. We got Neurogen says, happy you're back. I'm happy to be back. My Way, too easy, Crow. Hey Jude, Beatles, too easy. Lux Celeste says, hey, Dr. Ali, I will be listening while working. Awesome. Good to have you here. We're doing karaoke lullabies for everyone that's just joining us, where you give me a song and I try to turn it into a cozy, relaxing lullaby version. Crow says Frank Sinatra's My Way is super energetic for me. I mean, it does go up like that. All right. I think Mr. Brightside might be Enter Sandman Metallica. Okay, now Crow understands the assignment here. Uh, Enter Sandman by Metallica. Okay, that might be. I see. Okay. I'm trying to. I'm trying to just remember what Enter Sandman sounds like. It's been so long. 50 Cent, it's your birthday. That might be. I know those lyrics pretty well. Now we've got a debate between 50 Cent, it's your birthday, Enter Sandman, and Mr. Brightside. These are good. Mr. Blue Sky, I love Mr. Blue Sky. That's I'm on a boat. Oh my gosh, these are good. Okay, let's do I'm on a boat. Let's do that. Just because I feel like that is so far away from being a lullaby. Let's do About a Boat. Although, gosh, these are good. I really love Mr. Blue Sky. I could do Mr. Blue Sky any day of the week. I love that song. And 50 Cent, It's Your Birthday just cracks me up. But let's do I'm on a Boat. All right, for YouTube community guidelines, I'm going to not say the curse words, just so this video doesn't get flagged for anything. Sorry about that, Crow. I'm not gonna do any curse words on this. All right, I'm gonna get a big sip. All right. I gotta turn this. All right, so here we go. Karaoke lullaby. I am turning The Lonely Islands classic from 2009 into a relaxing, soothing lullaby. Aw, shoot. Get your towels ready. It's about to go down. Everybody in the place hit the frickin' deck. There's a lot of cursing in this. But stay on your mother flippin' toes. We're running this, let's go. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me, 'cause I'm sailing on a boat, sailing on a boat. I'm on a boat, I'm on a boat, I'm on a boat. Take a good hard look at this mother flippin' boat. There's so much swear. I'm on a boat. This song is really long. I'm on a boat, take a look at me, straight floating on a boat on the deep blue sea. Busting 5 knots, wind whipping on my coat. You can't stop me, mother flipper, 'cause I'm on a boat. Take a picture. Oh my God, I'm not even halfway done with this. I'm sweating here. Take a picture, trick, I'm on a boat. How do I even sub that word? How do I sub? Which? There we go. We're drinking Santana Champ, 'cause it's so crisp. I got my swim trunks and my flippy floppies. I'm flipping burgers You at King goes straight flipping copies. I'm riding on a dolphin, doing flips and stuff. The dolphin splashing, getting everybody all wet. But this isn't Sea World. It's as real as it gets. I'm on a boat, mother flipper. Don't you forget. I'm on a boat and it's going fast. I got a nautical theme, Pashmina Afghan. I would never sing this lullaby to my children. This lullaby's terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating bullets here. If you're on the shore, then you're sure not me. So stupid. That lyric is so stupid. Get the flip up, this boat is real. Forget land, I'm on a boat, mother flipper. Forget trees, I climb buoys, mother flipper. I'm on the deck with my boys, mother flipper. The boat engine makes noise, mother flipper. Oh, this is my favorite line. Gonna try to be really extra lullaby-ish for this. Hey man, if you could see me now, arms spread wide open on the starboard bow. Gonna fly this boat to the moon somehow. Like Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. Yeah, never thought I'd be on a boat. It's a big blue watery road. Poseidon, look at me. Oh, all hands on deck. Never thought I'd see the day when the big boat come in my bay. How am I gonna do the next line? This is not fair. This is not fair. How do I do the next line? uh believe me when I say I fought a mermaid. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me, 'cause I'm sailing on a boat. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Take a good hard look at the mother flippin' boat. We did it. We did it. We did it, folks. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Crow. It's good for challenging anxiety. I like how you all just heard the story of me, like, and my performance anxiety, and then we do I'm on a boat as a lullaby. Thank you, everyone. I did not think that was possible either, Crow. Mic drop, says Meme Machine. We did it. We did it. We got through that. And Meme Machine, yeah, the song came out in 2009. Not only did the song come out in 2009, it was like it was a big YouTube moment because this video came out and it went super viral. And up until this time, networks like NBC, if you're not familiar, this song came from a group of people who made it for Saturday Night Live, which is a big popular show here in the United States, like a big comedy show. And they did it on the show, and then it went super viral on YouTube. And it was the first time a network in America had a part of their show go viral on YouTube, and they didn't try to pull it because they were like, oh, wow, people like this, and this is just bringing more attention now to the original show. Maybe people will actually be more interested in our show because of this clip. So it was like a big YouTube, big important moment. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the love here. It was a big important moment for YouTube too. All right, folks, let's keep the party going. I'm loving the cozy crew that's hanging out late night here with me. Let's see if we can get a new one here. 1 minute TED Talk. All right. You all give me a topic. I'm going to get the countdown ready, and then I have to give a TED Talk on it for 1 minute period of time. It can be any single type of topic. It doesn't have to be psychology related. It can be psychology related. It can be mental health related. Anything. It could be something I know nothing about. But let's get some topics going in the chat. Give me some topics. And Crow says, "Ooh, nice. I love TED Talks. We'll see if you like this one. We'll see if you like this one. This game is inspired by a car game I play with my family. And it's where we go, when we're on a long drive, we take turns doing a talk on some subject for 1 minute. And the best is when my daughter, who's 8 years old, when she gets a topic she knows nothing about, and then she just she makes up the randomest, most fun stuff. I love her imagination. She makes some really wild stuff. So it's so much fun for me to do that game with my kids. I thought we could do this game together. All right, let's see some topics. We got Ryan is saying career uncertainty in undergrad can be psych-related or just broadly speaking. All right, yeah, we could do a talk on that. Human equality, that'll be a very lighthearted and easy subject. KB Live. Crow says paralysis about self-analysis. That sounds like it should be an album title. Crow, paralysis about self-analysis. I like that one. Resilience says Lux. Okay, these are all good. Let's see, we got Ray H says TED Talk about best pizza you've ever had. Oh my gosh. I could answer that question actually. I had a really, really amazing pizza a week and a half ago. Talk about your favorite movie. That is easy to do. I was kind of alluding to that early in the stream with Jurassic Park. I want a little bit of a challenge here. A little bit of a challenge. TED Talk about how you chose your fashion style. Crow, I just do what my wife tells me looks good. Because I've learned if I don't do that, then I don't look so good. All right, let's do this one, folks. Career uncertainty in undergrad. Here we go. We got the timer. Oh gosh, the timer's going already. Oh my gosh. All right. This is one of the worst and best times to be in college, where all the guaranteed careers out there of going into computer science, of going into I don't know, something else, are kind of poofing up into the ether. And part of that's because of AI disrupting everything. Part of that is because of other things, but let's. Oh gosh, the time. Are you kidding me? I'm at 16 seconds. It's not possible. That is. Oh my gosh. No. This is not. This 1 minute is not. No, we're gonna go bonus. We're gonna change the rules here. We're gonna go 3 minutes. 1 minute is too short. I'm wasting my time by talking about this. What I have discovered is a lot of people who are graduating right now and looking for jobs that they thought were guaranteed are not necessarily there. And we're entering a period of time where there's going to be massive change, massive disruption in so many different industries. And if you are in college right now, you might be feeling so overwhelmed by all of this, and you might be dealing with such uncertainty. But here is the good thing. As an anxiety expert who spends his life devoted to uncertainty. What I can tell you is the skill we need right now more than any other skill is learning how to tolerate uncertainty, learning how to navigate. I'm out of that time. We're going to go last minute. This game is now a 3-minute TED Talk, and we are going to the number one skill you have to learn is how to navigate that uncertainty. You don't navigate uncertainty by keeping your heads in the book, because you can't think your way out of uncertainty. You can't plan for the future. But what you can do is you can gain experiences through apprenticeships, through studying with other people who are already doing the thing that you want to do. You can learn from them, because I think what is going to happen now as AI disrupts the entire world, AI disrupts all workforces. If you are a young person right now trying to get your start, the best and most important thing is not going to be your grades or the books you've read or the schools you've gone to, but the experiences you've gained through apprenticeships. And you start those apprenticeships as early as you can in life. That is how you navigate the uncertainty, by actually getting real world experience from people who are actually doing the work. How'd I do? I gave myself extra time. I feel like I cheated. But you know what? The game was a cheat. The game was a cheat. You can't do a 1-minute TED. You know what? I do this game with my kids. Where's that 1 minute? There, we're gonna change that, folks. I don't like 1 minute TED Talk. You know what I realized as I was doing this? I call it 1 minute TED Talk because that's probably all I can stand for my kids from when we're doing this game together. We're going to make this 3-minute. I think 3-minute is fair. I don't know what you think, but I can't get anything across in 1 minute. I can't make that work. Ryan says awesome stuff. Thanks so much, Dr. Ali. I hope that helps. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe where we're going to head in the future is more apprenticeships, less degrees, less classes. And the earlier you can get your feet wet, the better. I know, especially in computer science, AI can do so much of what an entry computer scientist could do. And it's nowhere near as good as doing what an experienced person can do. And an experienced person is needed to sort of manage the work of an AI, because AI makes so much mistakes. But living here in Silicon Valley, I can tell you a lot of companies are less looking for entry-level computer scientists now. What they're looking for is more experienced people, because the entry stuff can be replaced by AI. That's bad for people who are getting started. So what do you do if you're getting started? I think as much as you can do apprentice stuff or work on smaller teams, where you can get as much experience as possible. So that might be startups. It might be like being in college and trying to get more experiences there when you're a student. It's really hard. I think it's really, really, really hard. And it's not about taking more classes or getting better grades, but it's going to be about getting as much experience as you can, as early on as you can. And then you can learn how are other people who are already doing this work navigating this stuff. I think that is key. Crow says, I just started learning programming again from the fundamentals itself. I accepted that the usage of AI is going to be incorporated in my actions, so I just cover it by learning on the fly. So I think the debate here is so often human versus AI, and I think human and AI always wins. Always wins. So if you know a lot about the work you do, and you also know about what's possible with AI, and you can keep it in check, then you two together are very powerful. And there's a lot you can do. But it means you got to know a lot about what you want to do, and you have to experiment a lot with AI. The best way I've heard AI described is it's like a chimp army. So it's like an army of apes, very strong, very powerful, also very stupid. AI can make some stupid, incredibly dumb mistakes. And if you know what you're doing, you can catch those mistakes. But if you don't, really bad things can happen. And Ray H says ChatGPT as a better than a therapist was also a topic recently. This is going to be doing a reaction video related to ChatGPT and mental health pretty soon. So I'm definitely going to be on that topic. Okay, Kat, as a recent graduate from Psych, yay, Psych. I appreciate it. Sometimes even unpaid work can be helpful. This is the thing that I hate. What I think living in the United States, one of the things that I think is holding so many of us back in the United States is healthcare. Because in the United States, we don't have universal healthcare. You only can get healthcare most of the time in most situations through an employer. So I think a lot of people would be able to get more cool internship opportunities, could do more startups, could do their own thing if they didn't have to worry about healthcare so much. So I think it's one of the biggest barriers we have to real innovation coming from a wide variety of people. Really makes me annoyed. There's so many reasons why our healthcare system makes me annoyed, but that's another one. Meme Machine says, definitely feeling the career uncertainty. Got laid off from the last 2 jobs. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Meme Machine. Got a call from the place that's supposed to be starting saying that they might go out of business. Oh, man, Meme Machine, I'm sorry. I am sorry to hear that. It is a very, very, very strange, weird time right now in so many ways. And I think things are going to get weirder, and things are going to get pretty uncertain. And I think that's why navigating uncertainty is so incredibly important. I should probably make a video about that. And Crow says, thank you so much to Lux for saying rooting for you. Yay. I just finished my first program that'll help me, and now I'm upgrading it today, but the looming guilt and shame really weighs heavily on my mind. What looming guilt and shame, Crow? Tell me more about that looming guilt and shame. What's going on? And KB says, totally agree. Health insurance shouldn't be tied to employment. It's one of the... There's so many backwards things that America does, and that is a big one. I think I vented about this in another stream earlier this week, but something that really frustrates me about America is that because we don't have universal health care, we have lots of different healthcare systems, and it's very hard for different providers to share their notes about the people the patients they have if those other providers can't see each other's notes. So like if you see one doctor in one healthcare system, and then you have a physical therapist in another healthcare system, and then you've got a therapist that's private practice, none of those notes are being shared with each other, which makes it really hard for people to collaborate. I hate that. KB Live says, I'm disabled, so learning the concept of tolerating uncertainty is important. 100% agree with you. What I think is cool about uncertainty is it's like a muscle you can build, your ability to tolerate uncertainty. And it's not just tolerating uncertainty, but it's also about navigating uncertainty and responding to uncertainty. Like I had this one patient who I saw for very long, and every single session was about, should I marry this person? Should I not marry this person? Should I marry this person? Should I not marry this person? And I think what finally nudged them to the right place was when I told them, look, you're thinking about this as a decision that's going to last you for the rest of your life. I'm going to tell you something totally radical that you might not like, but I think is what you need to hear. And that is, when you propose to this other person, think about it as a decision you are making for now. You're making this decision, and you can always back out before you get married. And then when you get married, when you decide to get married and you go through the ceremony, whatever you do, you're continuing to be married for the duration of the marriage, which you also have a choice of ending. And there are consequences to that. There's social consequences, there's financial consequences. If you're a religious person, there might be religious consequences. There's definitely going to be emotional consequences, right? But there's a way out. Like I'm only asking you to make a decision to that helps you to tolerate the uncertainty that's right in front of you. And so this person saw this like major life decision that would affect everything forever and ever and ever. And what I was trying to do is help to make that uncertainty smaller so that they can make a decision for now, and a decision that's consistent with their values, and to kind of help you move forward. And I think that helps people sometimes, is like, if the uncertainty is big, shrink it down, make it something smaller and more manageable, and move forward with that. Lux says, it's really inspiring to see people trying to do it anyway, despite of being scared. I'm sure you can navigate it. And Crow says, I can accept that I am a vibe coder, but it still stings that shade, that label is attached to, kind of depressing for me. It doesn't define who I am, but still the mind is difficult to master. So one of the things I'll tell you, again, I got a lot of Silicon Valley startup friends over here. Now the trend in Silicon Valley is to have much smaller teams where you have a lot more computer science engineers that are deploying AI to do the more basic stuff. And one of the reasons for that is venture capital. All the companies that give the money to startups to start up, they're not paying for the big gigantic teams that there used to be before. And the biggest cost for most startup teams used to be engineers, people who could program. And so they're trying to shrink those costs down, because of course they are. That is how capitalism works. And they're trying to deploy more people who know how to use AI more. And so I think of AI now, there's so many ways in which I think about it, but I think of it more as a co-intelligence, something we work with, not work against, but something that's a tool that we have. If it helps at all, Crow, Mirko says, hey, I just joined. Want to express some gratitude. You once suggested improv to work on social anxiety. Yes. Since that, I took some classes, which I'm really happy about. Yes. And I am really grateful, Mirko, that you are here and sharing that gratitude with me. That makes me so happy. Mirko, if you this is our cozy live stream where we play games. I spin something here. We play a game. Almost all of these games are improv based. So I think improv is a fantastic skill in life, and it suited me so many times. So good to have you here, Mirko. But Crow, what I was going to tell you is, oh gosh, what was I going to tell you now? Oh yeah, I think so. One of the things that I found AI has been incredibly helpful to me is it's loosened me up in terms of experimentation. So if I am working on a script for a video, I write up the draft of that script, and then I can use AI to experiment with it. So I can say things like, what would this look like? This is like a 10-minute video. What would this look like as a 5-minute video? What would this look like as a 30-minute video? What would this look like if I wanted to turn it into a skit? What would this look like if I turn it into a rant? I can in a single day, I now go through like 15 to 20 drafts, whereas before I used AI, I had like 1 or 2 drafts. So for me, it's completely changed the way I write. And I think for most people, it's going to completely change the way they work. But I think the best use of it is when you're using it as a co-intelligence. You're using it as something that is going along with you on the journey. Do, 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 do. I want to catch up on the comments. Catching up on the comments section. Want to make sure I don't leave any comment behind. Crow says, when all things are said and done, it'll boil down to tolerance. Yeah, I can see that. Lux Celeste says, there's way out. This is very helpful for me. Okay, Kat says, the one TED Talk that ever had a major impact on me was the philosophy of making a hard decision. I highly recommend. I have not seen that one before. Oh, man. Okay, Kat says, can't remember the name, unfortunately. Hold on. I think we can figure this out. Okay, I'm going to look up TED Talk philosophy of making hard decision. Okay, Kat, is it Ruth Chang, How to Make Hard Choices? Is that the TED Talk? That is the one that keeps coming up over here. There's a bunch of links to it. Let me see. Yeah, here's a talk that could literally change your life. Which career should I pursue? Should I break up or get married? Where should I live? Big decisions like these can be agonizingly difficult, but that's because we don't think about them. That's because we think about them the wrong way, says philosopher Ruth Chang. She offers a powerful new framework for shaping who we are. I'm guessing this is the right one. Let's go to the reaction video or screen over here. Hold on, I don't want to add. I don't want to show you all that. I was going to show you all the screen. I was going to screen share here. Okay, Kat says, yes, that's it. Awesome. As soon as this ad disappears, I'll open it up so people can see. All right, let's switch over here. Okay, so there's that TED Talk. So if any of you are interested, it's how to make hard choices. That's it. Awesome. And this one is it's from as soon as 2014. So it's an oldie but a goodie now. It's like more than 10 years old. That goes way back. I'm gonna have to check that one out. That sounds pretty cool. All right, folks, we're gonna do one more game. And let's see what we got over here. Can I pick the game? I want to pick the game. I know that's breaking the rules here, but it is my live stream. I feel like I can do that if I want. Okay, let's do this. In keeping with the spirit of you all making these choices, I'm going to give you 2 last choices for the last game. Okay, the one is 7 levels. This is a game where you give me a concept and then I have to explain it at 7 levels. So I have to explain it for an elementary school, middle school, high school, college, grad school, expert. Oh, and the one I'm missing is like a preschooler. So preschooler all the way up to an expert. That is 7 levels. I'm ripping that off from Wired magazine. They used to do these videos, 7 levels. We'll do that, or Oh, emotion detective. So emotion detective is where it's 20 questions, but an emotion. So someone in the chat picks an emotion. Don't say it out loud, but then I get 20 questions to try to guess what that emotion is. So do you want to play 7 levels where I explain a concept from preschooler all the way up to expert? Or do you want to play emotion detective? All right. Crow says 7 levels. Let's see. What's the chat saying? Ray says 7 levels. Crow says 7 levels. This is exciting. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Claire says 20 questions. Oh, I think we're going to have a tie here because OK Cat also says emotion detective. I need someone to break this tie. We're tied. We got 2 votes apiece, if I am calculating correctly. The next vote, Ryan settles it, unless there's a different vote that's coming in. Ryan says 7 levels. That I think that's gonna be no, we got another one for Neurogen says emotion detective. We're tied again. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Where's it gonna go? Where's it gonna go? Another tie is correct. Okay. We need someone. We need someone who's been a lurker in the chat to watch. Claire says, just joined, huge fan of the channel. Thank you for all the work you do, and a big hello from Queensland, Australia. Claire, so good to have you. Claire might be all this, KB says, all this variety of brain stimulation is making me tired, which is good. KB, you need to go to bed soon. Okay, Claire, we need your help. We have a tie. We have a tie here. We're playing a game here, and we have to figure out what game to play. So there's 2 options. There's 7 levels where you all will pick an idea, and then I have to explain it at 7 levels, from preschooler to elementary to middle school to high school to college to postgrad to expert. Or emotion detective, where someone in the chat will pick an emotion and I play 20 questions to try to figure out who it is. So we have a tie right now between which game to play. KB Live could be the tiebreaker, unless then Claire undoes the vote. So either KB Live or Claire or both of you, we need your votes here on what game to play. All right. Miles says I be lurking 7 levels. Yes, we got Miles breaking this. Unless Lux says I like both. I already voted 20 questions. Now we got another tie. Are you kidding me, guys? Okay. With Lux, we got 7 levels. Is winning. Miles was a lurker, but then Claire undid that lead. But Lux Celeste, we got 7 levels. Let's go. All right, folks. I need a concept. Let's make this a psychology or mental health concept. We need Crow's 3 votes. Crow's like, can we just get to it? I want to see the 7 levels. And Luis A says 7 levels. All right, so here we know these 2 games are cool. All right, we know they're cool. We're gonna do them again. I'm sorry, emotion detective, but we'll come back for you. All right. So let's do 7 levels. I need a concept that I probably know well enough that I can explain at 7 levels. So give me something psychology or mental healthy, and we'll do 7 levels here. All right. So Crow says analyzing anxiety. Okay. All right. Interesting. Interesting. The analyzing part is what makes it interesting to me. What else we got, folks? I am almost out of tea. I can't believe I got my biggest mug and I made my biggest cup of peppermint tea and I'm almost out of it. Revenge bedtime procrastination. Currently experiencing. That's good. That's good. Explain personality disorders and the impact they have in interpersonal relationships. Whoa. Interesting. Cognitive restructuring from CBT. Okay, okay. These are all good. So we got analyzing anxiety, revenge bedtime procrastination, personality disorders, cognitive restructuring. I could do any of these. I'm not going to do all of these because then we'd be here for a long time. All right, I'm going to try to pick. I feel drawn. My heart is drawn to revenge bedtime procrastination. But my mind is drawn to personality disorders. Oh, there's more. Oh, Neurogen says Bonfrebrenner's ecological theory. I love Bonfrebrenner. What a deep cut, Neurogen. This is like are you studying developmental psychology? That's not something that's usually thrown around in the chat. I love it. I'm gonna have to explain it. I'm not picking it. I'm not picking it yet, but I'm gonna explain it because I love that concept. So the Bonfrebrenner model is kind of like here's the person, and then like right outside of them is like their family. Right outside of them is like extended family, community. Right outside of them is like the city and the environment. And right outside of them are like national policies. And all these things have an impact on the development of that person in the center. So what's really cool about it is it helps you to see all the different ways that not only a negative impact can happen on a child, but also like the positive impacts. How so much of the world can be can have an influence on a child. Here, I'm just gonna pull up an image here and bring it on. There, you can kind of see that. You can see. Let me bring myself here. There we go. You can see like the different layers of the environment that can kind of have an influence on a child. And when I first saw that diagram, I just thought like, whoa, that's cool. I never really thought about that. I never really thought about all these like systems that are impacting someone. So Neurogen, thank you. You win the award for picking one of my favorite niche concepts in developmental psychology. Lux Celeste says I like personality disorders. Crow says, can I recast my vote to personality disorders? BPD is kind of prevalent over here. All right. Should we do personality disorders? Yeah, I'm personally experiencing it with my brother. It's really hard, says Lux Celeste. Okay. All right, let's do personality disorders. So, specifically explaining personality disorders. All right. So here's 7 levels. Level 1 is a preschooler. So this is going to be someone younger than the age of 5. Okay. What's really tricky about this is like their personalities are really fluid. So the concept of a personality is even that is pretty alien to them. So you know how your mom or maybe your dad, uh, sometimes they say something a lot, or sometimes they do something a lot. Maybe they have like a favorite song, or they have a favorite thing to say. That is part of their personality. These things that they do or say all the time. It's kind of like how you might, um, your favorite show, your favorite thing to watch might be Bluey, and you love watching Bluey all the time. That's a big part of your personality. And sometimes we have parts of our personality that really help us, and then sometimes we have parts of our personality that don't help us so much. And when we have parts of our personality that make problems, that's what we call a personality disorder. I feel like that was better as a elementary school one. I feel like it needs to be even simpler for a preschooler. Um, okay, let me back up. Lux says, "Okay, doc, follow your heart." Ah, it's too late. It's too late. Sorry, bedtime procrastination, revenge bedtime. We're in it with personality disorders. I need to make it even more simple for a preschooler. That one that I just gave is that'll work for an elementary school kid, but explaining personality disorders to a preschooler. All right. I think what I'm working on here is Crow says I think that some high school level needs to be even more simple. Okay. So for a preschooler, I think it needs to be something more like, you know, when somebody takes your toy and it doesn't feel very fair and you get really mad. When somebody has a personality disorder, they might do things like that a lot, but they don't realize that it might be making other people feel mad, or it might be making other people feel sad. They might do things that are bothering other people and not even realize they're doing it. How's that? Is that better? I feel like that's closer. I don't know if it's quite perfect, but like that sense of like justice, that it's not fair that someone has done something, and that anger that kids have over that, I feel like that's relatable. And the thing about personality disorders is like the insight and awareness of them is a big challenge, because there are these like patterns of behavior over a long period of time, right? So um, if you take another kid's toy and that kid is upset, you realize they're upset, and then you gotta have to like rectify the situation, and you do it. But if you have a personality disorder, you do that kind of stuff a lot, and you might not even realize that other people are upset. Is that good? All right, I'm getting some nice here. Okay. I think um, we got something. The challenge of awareness really hits home. Awesome. Okay. All right, we got a preschooler one. All right, so one down, 1 of 7. All right, let's go to elementary school. Okay, elementary school is good and bad because you've got like kindergarten all the way to 5th grade. So you basically have like age 5 to age 10. So I would draw from teachers. So they all, at that point, you've had at least one or two teachers in your life. Even if you're in kindergarten, you've probably had a substitute teacher. Um, and I want to, Crow says, let's meet in the middle, age 8. Okay, let's kind of go with that. So at that point, they've had multiple teachers, and they know that every teacher has a different vibe. Some teachers are louder, some teachers are quieter, some teachers are softer, some teachers are more strict. Some teachers you hate and then you hate them the whole year. Some teachers you hate and they grow on you. So the first part, I would use that to explain personality. So I would say, do you have a favorite teacher? Oh, what did you like about that teacher? The kid might say, they're really nice. They're really fun. And then I would say, okay, like most of the day, they were really fun and nice. So we can say that's a big part of their personality, that usually that's what they would be like. That's what a personality is. It's like that big stuff you see from someone every day, like your favorite teacher always having the smile or always greeting you with a high five when you go into the class. That's part of their personality. Okay, now we got to bridge that to explaining personality disorders. So I would say here that, so you know how you have these teachers that do really nice things, like they might high five you every day you're going into a classroom? Well, some teachers might be having a really hard time, and they might do things that make it really hard for you to feel welcome and like you want to be in their class. Like it might feel like you actually don't like it when this person comes in the classroom. And maybe you've had some teachers like this, or substitute teachers, where every time you see them, they're doing these small things that make you not want to be in that classroom. Like maybe they say not so nice things when you make mistakes, or maybe if someone says something not nice about them, they get really mad, and they get really mad out of nowhere, and you're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. A personality disorder, it's kind of like having that substitute teacher that you know you're gonna have a bad time with them, because every time you've been around them, it's you've had a bad time around them. What I not so like about this explanation is it like like maybe that person just has dysthymia. They have like a chronic low level of depression, right? Like but that's, something we have to figure out as clinicians. Is this is there like a chronic case of something else, or is this a personality disorder? I don't know if I totally nailed that elementary school age explanation of a personality disorder. Um, I don't know, chat. What do you think? Did that come through? I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like that. Um, Tell me what you think, folks. Tell me what you think. Sometimes the chat gets it gets stuck for a little bit, and then a bunch of messages come through, which always makes me feel like, oh no, what's happening here? Are things still working out or not? Okay, while I'm waiting for the chat's reactions, oh, here we go. This could be the hardest topic for 7 levels. It's definitely tricky. Is there, because I'm also trying to explain all personality disorders and not something like very specific, like borderline personality disorder. Okay, Crow says, well, this is an explanation of elementary, so we gotta compromise the level of details. It's pretty understandable from an elementary age, in my opinion. Okay, all right, let's move forward. So let's go to middle school. All right, now the experience of middle school is a little bit more evolved here. Um, Lux Celeste says, "I'm learning a lot, Doc. Awesome." And KB says, "What percent of teachers might have personality disorders? Is it that common?" No, no. I don't want to pick on teachers here at all. I think the reason I was drawn to teachers is like trying to explain this from the perspective of an elementary school kid. Like, who are the major adults? Uncles, aunts, things like that, and teachers. And where do they see diversity? Where do those adult relationships change the most? Teachers. And kids, especially with a substitute teacher, they know the vibe, the personality of a substitute teacher pretty well. And they will know if this is someone that they in general connect with or don't. So that's why I picked that KB Live. Um, I'm not picking up on that as a career that is more drawn to personality disorders. No. Crow said kind of lagging a bit. Yeah, I think hopefully it got better now. Luxless says my internet is laggy. Um, and maybe it was on my end. My internet service provider, it usually I've never had any lag issues, but I know they do service maintenance in the middle of the night, which is now. Um, okay. Lux says it's good. It's good now. Okay. Um, all right. So we're at middle school. Yeah. KB says that's why the example doesn't land. Yeah. This is harder than I thought. Okay. Middle school. So, middle school, you're starting to see more complicated social relationships. You are starting to see romantic relationships. You probably have had more uh, evolved fights with friends. So, conflict, romance, identity, these things are starting to develop. Now, here's the challenge of talking about the personality disorders with a middle school population. If you just look at borderline personality disorder, the main features of that are being really confused about who you are, that confusion extending to relationships, where you have a hard time knowing where you begin, the other person ends, and so much of who you are is defined by your relationships with other people. And think when a relationship is good, you feel great. When the relationship is not so good, you kind of lose all sense of yourself. Um, and then there's a lot of emotional um, difficulty with intense emotions and a lot of distress related to that. So because you experience really intense emotion, family conflict, but everything I just mentioned, those defining features of borderline personality disorder are common and normative, meaning they're normal and to be expected of middle schoolers, especially. So explaining and then like you look at narcissistic personality disorder, um, where like narcissism, at the heart of it, it's like having this really fragile sense of yourself, and when your sense of self is really challenged, you react with a lot of anger, and you try to keep your sense of self full and disregard what other people are saying. Um, so like that is also pretty common with middle schoolers. So Crow, I'm also trying to adjust my brain to middle school level now. it's tricky explaining this because a lot of this stuff is pretty normative for middle schoolers. So, okay, I want to go with the peer fights. Let's see if we can develop that. So, if you have like a fight with your best friend and it feels terrible and you feel bad about it and maybe you hold a grudge for a while, um, and maybe you want to make it up and figure out a way to still be friends with someone else. People who have personality disorders have a really, really hard time with that kind of stuff. And people with personality disorders, um, they might, for them, conflict might not feel bad at all, and they might have all these fights with all these people in their lives, and that just feels natural and normal. That just feels like regular life. Or they have these fights and it completely wipes out every single idea they have about themselves. Or maybe they go through these fights and it could have been with someone who's their best friend, and then they decide, okay, forget it, I'm never going to be friends with this person ever again. And so personality disorders, people who experience these things have a very, very hard time keeping friendships and keeping relationships with other people. I think that's the key there. That I think that'll get through to a middle schooler. Again, a lot of that context is pretty common to middle schoolers. So I think that Claire says, translate for me. When is middle school? Good question. So middle school is like 11, 12, 13, age 11, 12, 13, if I'm remembering that correctly, Claire. In the United States, we have usually kids are around age 10 or 11 when they transition to middle school, and then they're in middle school until about the age of 13, I think. I think I'm remembering that correctly. Some variation on that, but it's basically when puberty starts. It was supposed to be when puberty starts is when kids would go to middle school, but nowadays puberty is starting earlier, especially for girls. So that's a whole nother problem now. All right, let me know if that uh, if that example landed for you all. Um, Let me know if the middle school example landed. And now, yeah, I think you're not the only one, Crow, with latency issues. I think it's my I hope my ISP is not doing maintenance at this time, but it went out. We got to finish this soon. We got to finish the 7 levels. Me Machine says, sorry, Doc, I thought I'd make it to the end, but the sun is coming up. I'm tired. Good night, y'all. Thanks for being here, Me Machine. Thank you for being here. All right. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Okay, so high school. Let's kind of get through. I think people are okay. I'm sweating again. We're gonna make this work. High schoolers have probably had more friendship experiences. They have a little bit slightly better sense of their identity and who they are, although they might be experimenting with this more. They've had more life experiences, so we should be able to explain this in a little bit more detail. So what I would say to a high schooler is, and we did preschool, elementary, middle, high. We're on this is level 4. So Claire says, when puberty starts, that sounds like a catastrophic time to start a new school and system. Claire, you very well touched upon why middle school is so terrible in America. It is. It's a. I don't think there's a single person in America who said like, "Oh yeah, I love middle school. Middle school was a great time." No, middle school is very terrible and not so fun. Okay, so high school. High school, a lot more examples. I think we can be a little bit more clear here about personality disorders. So, let's see. What I would say here or high schooler, what I would say is like your personality is the main things that make you who you are. Even when you're in different situations, even if you change schools, even if you're with your friends or your family, it's the main stuff that people pick up on. So if you're someone who's super organized, if you're someone who's super messy, if you're someone who's always late, and it's not just that you're just late with your friends, but you're also late with your family. It's your personality is the main stuff that you do around all the people and all the situations you're in. That's your personality. Now, a personality disorder is when there's stuff going on there, those big patterns in your life that are actually causing you a lot of problems. And these problems are, you might not realize it, but they're making big problems for you and the things you want to do and the relationships and the friendships that you want to have. That's all that a personality is. Or a personality disorder is these problems in the big patterns of who you are. I think that works, right? I think that works for high schoolers. I think they would pick up on that. Hello, M. Good to see you here. Welcome, Ola. Welcome to the chat. Did I nail that one, high schooler one? Is that too basic? I think it works, right? Because here's why I went with that one. Is I think for high schoolers, they're spending so much more time with their friends than they are their family. And so if there's a connection there between how they hang out with friends and how they hang out with family, that's a big part of your personality. Most people act kind of differently between friends and family at that age. But if there's a common thing there, that's going to be a big common part of that person's personality. All right, Crow says that works. All right, good. Okay, so we did to M for who just joined us. We're playing 7 levels here. I'm explaining personality disorders to a preschooler, an elementary school kid, so that's up to age 10. So before age 5, up to age 10, and then 11, 12, 13, and then 14 to 18. That's high school. Now we're getting to college. So at a college level, we actually can start to have some definitions here. So at a college level, you can say your personality are the defining characteristics of you that persist across time and space and situation. So the defining characteristics of you that exist across time, space, situation. So time meaning like as you get older, space meaning like situation. So I said time, space, and I forget the other one that I said, but like and situation, time, space, and situation. Space and situation sound kind of similar there. But that's personality, right? The personality disorder is when there are problems, there are patterns within your personality that are leading to problems in your life. So there are patterns in your personality that are leading to problems in your life. So, for example, the way you deal with emotions, the way you deal with social conflict, the way you deal with your sense of identity. There are these big patterns that persist in your life across time space situations that are creating some big problems. And this is different than mood disorders, than anxiety disorders, because those are much more specific to specific situations. Okay, I think that that's definitely a very college-y kind of explanation. I think we would get that. Now we go on to that was level 5. We got 2 more. So we've got now grad school and then expert level. So the grad school explanation is going to be something much more like this. So personality disorders are problems related to identity, social, emotional. This is interesting. Now I have to I'm trying to bring in the jargon, but not make it jargony, which is really really weird. Let's get technical, baby, says Crow. All right. So personality disorders are patterns of behavior that lead to impairment in life. And that impairment does not need to be perceived by the individual for it to qualify as a personality disorder. Does that make sense? All right, let me just break down what I just said. So personality disorders are patterns of behavior patterns of long-standing behavior that persist across time and development that lead to impairment in life, and that impairment does not need to be perceived by the individual. Okay, so what the heck am I saying there? What I'm saying there is that someone who has a personality disorder experiences problems that these problems are consistent even as they get older and as they are in different situations. And these problems are leading to real impairment. What we mean by impairment is it's limiting their ability to live their lives. And they don't necessarily need to be aware that they have this impairment for it to be an impairment. So that in the case of narcissistic personality disorder, people might not be aware of it. In the case of obsessional personality disorder, OPD, people aren't necessarily aware of these problems because they're problems for everyone else, not for me. But that's the problem. It pushes people away. People get very frustrated. People get very annoyed. And the person who has a personality disorder might not realize it at all. For someone like borderline personality disorder, someone who has borderline personality disorder, the whole problem is going to be in the relationship stuff. Claire says, perhaps the topic should have been, what are the perks of personality disorders? I'm not feeling so good about the emphasis on problems. Yeah, it's tricky, right? It's tricky, and here we are. Okay, with that, let's finish it up, and then we'll do one more game that is not personality disorder related. Let's take it to the expert level. So, Crow is saying it's definitely opening up approaches and possibilities regarding the topic. Yeah, what I mean, what I think is cool about this is we all struggle with some stuff, right? And the better we can understand this stuff, the better we can deal with this stuff, and the more we can improve. We all have our things that we're working on. Personality would have probably been easier to do if we just did personality. Okay, last one is expert level now. Okay, how do I go expert level from grad school level? So what separates grad school level to expert is actually experience. So you've been doing this work a lot. You have a lot more experience in it. So how do I make it more about experience? Um, okay, so to be able to accurately diagnose a personality disorder is actually quite a difficult thing. What you really need to understand is how persistent has this problem been? Can it be better explained by something else? And what is the actual impact of making this diagnosis for an individual? So let me unpack that for you all. How persistent has this been? What evidence do we have that this is actually, we're dealing with a personality disorder and we're not actually dealing with something else? Do we have data from a partner, a family member, a spouse, a sibling, someone that can help us to understand if this pattern of behavior goes way back in time? Because a lot of times when you're dealing with a personality disorder, if you're just going off of what the person is telling you, I mean, you've known this person for a small window of time. So if you're trying to diagnose a personality disorder, you want to get some collaborating. Gosh, it's 2 a.m. here. I can't remember the word here, but you want to get some data that supports that. So number one. Number two, you want to make sure that this isn't better explained by something else. So is the person dealing with some type of other chronic condition? Um, are they dealing with some type of health condition that might explain some of these patterns that you're seeing? A lot of chronic pain problems can produce changes that we think might be personality related problems, but they're actually secondary problems to a health problem that someone is experiencing, some type of chronic condition or some type of other factor. And then the third thing you need to consider before you're actually diagnosing a personality disorder is you need to consider, what are the implications of this? Personality disorders, some of them carry a lot of stigma with it. So would giving the diagnosis clarify the experience a person has? Would it be eye-opening and help them? Would it be validating to them that, like, this is the actual problem that you've been dealing with your whole life? It's not X, it's actually Y. Is that going to help? Number two, is it going to clarify your treatment? Where now it's going to bring into clarity that, like, actually, we've been treating this stuff like this. We actually need to treat it like this. So is it going to validate? Is it going to help? Is it going to clarify the treatment? And what would be potential harms in giving this diagnosis? Would this person likely drop out of treatment if we give them this diagnosis? If that's the case, we need to think carefully about it. Maybe we can try treating some of the problems without necessarily giving this diagnosis if we don't have to. So those are some of the things I would think about at an expert level if I'm thinking through a personality disorder. And with that, folks, I think we got our 7 levels here. I think we accomplished it. Lux Celeste says, "Can I be an expert now? I've been dealing with this with my brother since the day I was born." LOL, just kidding. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough in families. Crow says, "So prolonged observation and meticulous diagnosis, being careful not to be fooled by potential biases that come along with relationship to the person we're diagnosing." Yeah, when it comes to personality disorders, we are very, very, very careful in making any of those types of diagnoses. We never do them with kids, as I said before, because personalities are changing, and we need to be very cautious about making those diagnoses because they're big ones, right? Crow says, I forgot that we're taking this at a treatment basis and not adapting to it. Yeah, if you're talking about personality disorders, at least if you're asking a clinical psychologist, you're going to get a clinical answer. Okay, that was heavy stuff. We're going to do one last game here. Should we do the thought detective? Let's do the thought detective. Let's do that, folks. That's going to be our last game over here. Not thought detective, emotion detective. All right. Maybe we can get Claire here. Maybe Claire can be our volunteer. I don't want to volunteer Claire, but let's see if Claire's around and still paying attention. So emotion detective is 20 questions, but for an emotion. So someone in the chat over here needs to think of an emotion and make it as specific in your head as you can. Um, uh, are there any perks to having a personality disorder, please? Oh, let me answer this question. Yeah, absolutely. There can be perks to having absolutely. There's perks to all of what we call problems in mental health. Um, so, I'm an anxiety guy, and I can tell you one of the things about having anxiety is you do tend to be safer in your life, um, and you take less risks, especially less needless risks, right? And so for personality disorders, it depends on which problem you're talking about. But someone with like narcissistic personality disorder is probably more confident about themselves. Um, Now, when their own sense of identity is challenged, that is a challenging situation for them. But because they feel so self-confident, they might say yes to a lot more situations that other people who don't have that confidence might not take. And someone like someone who might have borderline personality disorder, who does experience these ups and downs with emotions, um, it can feel, and someone who really ups and downs with emotions and also ups and downs with relationships, um, they're individuals who can be really uh, just so captivating to be their friend or to be in their relationship. And I think especially when you learn how to deal with some of the hardest parts about this, you are able to channel some of the more strengths of your personality into your daily life. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, Claire says, I've got my handy emotion wheel here to help. Okay, awesome. So let's have Claire, if you want to do this, then we would love. Yes, Claire volunteers as tribute. Yes. Okay. Yay. Okay, here we go. So this is Emotion Detective. I have 20 questions to ask you, Claire. Um, and your answer, I have to ask you yes or no questions. So I can't be like, what emotion are you thinking? But it has to be a question kind of like, would you experience this emotion by yourself or around other people? Something like that. So think of an emotion, and it'll be helpful if you can make it kind of as specific as the example in your head. Like you might be feeling happy because you're watching something fun. That would be, that might just help you in your head as you're answering these questions. You're watching this awesome live stream, you're having a lot of fun, so your emotion is maybe happy. But think of an emotion, and just for your own sake, try to connect it to a situation. And I'm going to ask you a bunch of yes or no questions, and I'm going to try to guess this emotion before we get to 20. All right, here we go. So, Claire, first question. Is this an emotion people in general like feeling? Is this an emotion that people in general like to feel? This is the fun part. We get to we get to notice the fun lag between the live stream and the YouTube comments. And I think most of this lag is actually because of YouTube and YouTube's safety stuff. I think Twitch is a little bit faster on this kind of stuff. Crow, I can't wait for this too. This is gonna be fun. But there's a lot of problems with Twitch. I think Twitch is so Twitch can be so like frenetic and all over the place. That's one of the reasons why I like. It's still a 20-second lag on my end, says Crow. Okay, it's not great for the game like this, but it is. It is what it is. It's gonna make these 20 questions go by at a great pace. So Claire, yes, Claire says yes. So in general, this is an emotion that people like feeling. Okay, so I'm just gonna share my thought process. So I'm just assuming a lot of the emotions, people call these emotions like negative emotions. I don't like that. I think of them as as narrowing emotions. So emotions like anger's gone, sadness is gone, embarrassment is gone. Yeah, and Clara says this lag is also across the globe from the US to Australia. Totally. I was totally factoring that in to all of this. So I'm thinking sadness is gone, anger's gone, embarrassment is gone. All of those kind of things are gone. The challenge here, though, is this still leaves a lot of other emotions. Happiness, joy, excitement, awe, um, surprise can be positive or negative, but I think in most cases surprise is positive. This leaves a door open for a lot of positive emotions. Okay, is it an emotion that is unexpected? Is it an emotion that's unexpected, Claire? Okay, says maybe a good question to ask is a high energy or low energy? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to ask that one next. But Claire, my first question here. So I'm on question 2. Question number 2 is it an emotion that is unexpected? I think that was my question. Yeah. Crow says, I want to see a shot in the dark and say euphoria. That's a great emotion. That would be, what a great name to use there, or a great emotional name to use. Crow, are you a fan of the show Euphoria? Is that where that's coming from? I think that show has done such a fantastic job at representing with such brutal honesty some of what it's like to be that age. And then it took this long hiatus, and I think it's coming back now. Can be. Okay. All right. So Claire says can be, yes. So it can be an emotion that is a bit unexpected. Okay. All right. Claire, the next question I'm going to ask actually from OK Cat, which is it a high energy emotion? So it got to be a yes or no question. So is it a high energy emotion? So far we know that it's in general an emotion people like having. It can be I need to start writing this. So it can be unexpected. It it's an emotion people like having. Emotion people like having. And now I'm wondering, is it high energy? That's my next question. That would kind of get at something like euphoria. Um, Crow says, not familiar with the show Euphoria, but it's heavily associated with what I consume regularly. Yeah. So what shows do you consume regularly now? Now, Crow, I'm interested. What do you like watching? Let me know in the comments below, or the comments on the side, or the comments wherever you're watching this. So Claire, is it a high energy emotion? Gosh, this is harder than I thought it would be. This is not easy. And so with that, I'm on. This is question number 3, and we are gonna get to. I have 20. I might do a shot in the dark question, like Crow said, right after this. Let's see. Crow says, mangas and content about. I have no idea what that word is. Puer eternos? In other words, a sakai. Another word, protagonist. Okay? Those are new words for me. Claire says low energy? Okay, so it's more of a low energy. Okay, so chat, what we know, it's an emotion people like. It can be unexpected, but doesn't necessarily have to be. It's lower energy. So we're thinking of low energy emotions that people like having. I'm going to do a shot in the dark. Let's do a shot in the dark. Shot in the dark. Ba-bow, bow, bow. You give love a bad name. It's not love. It's not love. Puer eternos equals eternal youth. Also, euphoria can be low energy too. Oh, okay. Yeah. I gotcha. Okay, so it's not love. It's not. Is it just happy? Claire, is it happy? Are we like simply dealing with happy? If it's just happy, then I am like, I've been overthinking it. Is it happy? Let's see. Let's see what Claire has to say. Shot in the dark. Bow, bow, bow. You give love a bad name. Shot through the heart. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down, down. What else am I thinking? Low energy might be contentment too. Content is a good. Content. Is it unexpected? I feel like content is a little bit less unexpected. It is definitely low energy. Content is low energy. So Claire, is it happy? Are we dealing with happy? Nope. All right. So folks, it is not happy. That was question 4. All right, question 5. Claire, is this an emotion people use to describe related to eating something, like eating food? Is it an emotion people would use to describe eating food? Let's see. That's my question number 5. is it related to eating food? Because now I'm thinking, yeah, delicious, tasty, those kind of things. Those might be. Lux Celeste says, "Sorry, everyone. I have to run some errands. Thanks for being here, Lux Celeste. It was good to have you and good to see you again on another stream. Bye-bye and take care." I second that, Crow. We're gonna figure this out. Before the evening is through, we shall know what Claire is thinking of her. Bye, Lux Celeste. Bye. Oh, man. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. This is a lot harder. Okay. Claire says, can be. Oh my gosh, Claire. What are we doing? Okay. This actually, I think we're, okay. So it can be food related, this word. Okay. Food related things. Tasty, yum, delicious, good, so good. What other words do people use to describe the feeling of food? Like a smell, something about a nice smell. Yum. Can also be surprise. Yeah. Can be unexpected. Satisfied. You'll never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. Let's try that. Let's try satisfied. Yeah. That's a good one. Okay, Kat, I like that. Claire, is it satisfied? Never be satisfied. It's wild to me that the musical Hamilton is 10 years old now. It's like, what? How did this happen? How did those 10 years go by? Any Hamilton fans here? I forget what the fandom was called. There was a name for us Hamilton fans. I forget. Crow, satisfied is question number 6, I think. I've been writing them down here. Hopefully this focus. Is that in focus? Yeah. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Oh, Claire says, nope. Okay, it is not satisfied. Nope. All right, question number 7. Happy, satisfied, no. Can be related to food. Beautiful? Something related to beautiful, like you see something and you're kind of, what would be an emotion related to like seeing something beautiful? Crow says, how many guesses can we get? Well, it's 20 guesses, and we just did 6. So we have 14 left. Shahnawaz is asking a question about exposure therapy. Shahnawaz, we're playing a very important game over here. Cannot get distracted. But check out my video on I got a video on this that kind of walks you through my own example. Just look up social anxiety on my channel and anxiety on my channel. You'll find it. I've got some good stuff on that. Actually, Shahnawaz, go to my website, Braver with Anxiety. I've got a 3-part series on social anxiety, 3 lessons that'll walk you through that whole process. So don't worry, I got stuff for you over there. Let's see. Awestruck or amazed for a beautiful thing. It says, "Okay, cat." Yeah, we need something. We need something about beauty, getting awestruck by beauty, or feeling like it's beautiful. Feeling like something's really pretty. No, sorry, don't get hung up on the food thing. Okay. We'll back off. We'll back off on the food. Okay. Unexpected. People like it. Did I ask surprise? Claire, is it surprise? I feel like you could be surprised by food. It's not necessarily high energy. It could be something that's kind of low energy, right? Let's see. We will find out. The answer will come. The answer is coming. Claire's got an answer. Okay, Shahnawaz says title. Let me see if I can pull up the title for you while we are doing that. Shahnawaz. Let me see here. I will get this for you. All right, here's what you want to do, Shahnawaz. I'm going to switch to the screen. Hopefully you are still here and you're still watching this. Okay. So, braverwithanxiety.com/social-anxiety is going to get you to this article. Stop blaming yourself for being bad at people. It's got this picture right over here. But if you just go to Braver with Anxiety and lessons, this is the most recent one. It's about having a social battery, a dead social battery. And if you scroll down on this one, there's a link to it somewhere over here. Yeah, midway through, I talk about social anxiety, and if you just link to that, that'll get you to this lesson. But the URL for this one is braverwithanxiety.com/social-anxiety. That'll get you to this. Okay. Now back to the chat. Claire says, no, I'd say surprise is high energy. Okay. Surprise is high energy. No, it's not surprise. Okay. I gotta say it might actually be euphoria, Doc. Let's guess. I think to me, euphoria is like, I would feel like it's high energy. Let's see. Claire, is it euphoria? Are we talking euphoria here? This is gonna be question number 8. Is euphoria. Let's see. Is it euphoria? Shanawaz, were you able to find that article? Let me know. I sent that answer in the first question. If I'm right, holy moly. Yeah, if you get this right, Crow, I'm going to be very jealous. I am going to be very jealous. Okay, euphoria for question number 8. And let's see. While we're at it, Crow, what so you mentioned you're a manga guy. Like, what manga would you recommend for someone who's a newbie to the world of manga? Because I haven't read a ton of manga. I haven't watched a lot of anime. There are two very big holes in my pop culture knowledge. Claire says no, is not euphoria. Take that, Crow. Haha. You are as wrong as I have been. Okay. Is it Crow says I'm out of here. How about this? Is it relief? So I feel like food can be a relief. I feel like it can be something that relief can be low energy. Is it relief, Claire? So meanwhile, Crow says definitely should start at Naruto. Lots of emotions and nuances, really gets you. So Naruto, the anime has like 900 episodes, right? Like, isn't it just Isn't it just like a massive story? I'm guessing. Well, are you recommending Naruto the anime, or are you mentioning Naruto the manga? And they both probably have just a ton of issues, I'm guessing. They both are pretty long stories that probably just go on and on and on. All right, Claire, is it relief? That is the emotion we will all experience once we figure out what this emotion is. Who knew that this was going to be so hard? No, it's not relief. No. Okay, that was question number 9. It's not relief. Relief is a no. Shanoa says, Doc, I joined. Whoops, wrong one. So let me explain to Shanoa. So Shanoa says, Doc, I joined now. Did I miss the lore and commenting something ironic? So Shanoa, we've been playing a lot of mental health games over here, and the game we're playing right now is called Emotion Detective. I have someone in the community here. In this case, it was Claire. Picked a emotion, and I have 20 questions to guess it using only yes or no questions. So that's what we're playing here. Hopefully that clears it up. Okay, so Claire, I need to think of something here. Relief. It's not relief. Curious. Is it curious? I feel like you can be curious about a lot of things, and curious can be a pretty positive emotion. Is it curious? Is that what we're doing here? This will be question number 10 for me. Is it curious? I think curious is pretty low energy one. All right. Meanwhile, back to the manga anime discussion. Fedwa says One Punch Man is not that long and pretty fun. My friend, if you were here earlier, the friend that took that picture that I was showing, she loves One Punch Man. I had no idea it's not that long. That's what's kept me away from a lot of anime and manga, is like how long they are. It's kind of scary for me, the commitment you need. Um, Ritu says excitement. We guessed excitement, right? Didn't we? We guessed happy, satisfied, surprised. Yeah, so let me run through. So far what we know is it's an emotion people like. It can be unexpected. It's more low energy. It's not happy. It can be related to eating food, but it also doesn't have to be. It's not satisfied. It's not surprise. It's not euphoria. It's not relief. And now, I guess, is it curiosity? Is it being curious? No, but close. Ho ho! Ho ho! We are close. Curious is close. Okay. I suddenly went from despair to optimism. I totally thought I was going to tap out. Uh, Gosh, the sweat here, it's just beating down. Um, okay, so curious is close. Drum roll. Claire, I feel like there's an obvious word, there's an obvious synonym for curious that I should be thinking of. Um, what are other words like curious? Okay, Kat says maybe wonder. Maybe wonder. Close to. Oh, good summary here, Crow. Close to curious. If Claire says it's cozy, I know it's not cozy, but that would be pretty ironic. If cozy was the word here. Um, Maybe intriguing. Um, let's go. Yeah, let's take okay cats. Is it wonder? This is going to be guess number 11. We got some specific ones coming in from the chat now. So we've got guess number 11 is wonder. Wonder is what I'm feeling now. I've gone from curious to wonder. What is this word? What is this emotion? Um, yeah, I know that's a problem, Crow. Close didn't specify if it's related to the emotion or the wording itself. Yeah. Like, is it curiosity? Oh man, but no, Claire, we are asking you if it's wonder. Um, yeah, okay. I feel like I really need to look up synonyms for curious because that can be like, is it like I'm just off by the wording just a little bit? I don't know. I don't know. Satiety. Yeah, like Claire says no. Okay. Intrigued? Intrigued is really close to curious. And that could be really related to food. Like there's a new kind of dish that someone has served you and you're intrigued by that food. It's got to be intrigued. Crow, thank you. Crow's looking up the whole emotional wheel. Um, I don't know if intrigued is on the emotional wheel. Maybe like a advanced version of it. Let's see. Let's see. Is it intrigued? Claire says, no, not a spin on a word, but close to curiosity on the emotional wheel I'm working with. Okay, so it's an emotion that is pretty close to curious. Is it intrigued, Claire? I'm intrigued and curious, I think, would be very close. I think you said no. Oh, you said no, so it's not intrigued. Okay. Okay, not intrigued. We're on question 14. I have 6 left, or we have 6 left, folks. We have 6 left. Mimi says, I just joining and intrigued by what's going on. Mimi, we are playing Emotion Detective. I have 20 questions to guess what emotion Claire is thinking of. And so far we have 6 left. And what we know right now, it's an emotion that people like that is close to curious. And it's not satisfied, it's not surprised, it's not euphoric, it's not relief. I don't know why I'm telling you those old hints. The hint that you need right now is an emotion that is pretty close to curious. It's not just a synonym that also means curious, but it's an emotion that's pretty related to that idea. That's what we know here. All right. Akash, I hear you're struggling here. Check my OCD video for some resources on OCD. Otherwise, I can't. This is more of a hangout space. We can't really dive into that kind of stuff here. Okay. Curious. So it's another word like curious. Akash, sorry, I can't give you any solutions here. So, gotta focus on what we're doing here. Otherwise, gonna have to put you in a timeout for pasting the same messages over and over here. All right, so close to curious. Claire, are you speaking to my Trekkie heart? Is it fascinated? Is the word fascinated? Because that would be pretty cool. That would be a very Vulcan Spock-like word to use here. This is question number 15. I'm going with fascinated. Is it fascinated? No problem, Akash. Glad to have you here. Crow, yeah, wonder is close to interest. It's gotta be. It's gotta be fascinated or fascinating or. Please be fascinating, because that'd be a cool Vulcan-like word to choose. We're all on the edge of our seat here waiting for Claire. No, Claire. Oh my gosh. All right. That was question number 15. And that is a no on fascinated. So it's a word like curious, not wonder, not intrigued, not fascinated. Do we ask interested? No, I don't think we asked interested. Can we do interested? Claire, is it interested? That's going to be question number 16. And chat, we have 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 4 left. I'm going to need to phone a friend here. So chat, give me your requests for these last 4 here. I think interested and curious are pretty related. Is it interest? 4 more questions, if not interest. Yes. Yes, Crow, thank you for summarizing that. Yeah, if it's not interest, like what else can it be? Maybe captivated. Yeah, that could be. Captivated to me is higher energy, and one of the things that Claire said is it's a bit lower energy, right? So I feel like it's hard to be captivated. No, it's not Claire. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's not interested. I am going to be so upset if we lose, because I feel like it's going to be something that's so obvious. OKK says, on an emotion wheel, curious is close to joyful. So maybe that, do we not do joyful? Curious and joyful are close? Really? Okay. We're going to go with OK Cat on this. Let's do, is it joy? Is it joy, Claire? Number 17 is joy. If we don't get this, I feel like I'm gonna want one pinch. I'm gonna feel like One Punch Man just punch me in the stomach. I feel like this is, I feel like it's something obvious that I cannot believe we haven't yet gotten. Is it confused? I think it's an emotion people. The very first question was, is it an emotion that people like in general, like having? And so the answer to that was yes. So confused, I think a lot of people don't like having. So Lori, I don't think it's that. Thank you for the summary here, Crow. Emotion has to be close to curious, can be felt unexpectedly, has to be low energy, positive, can come from food. Yeah. And our current question for Claire is it joy? Is joy the emotion we're feeling here? Claire says joyful would be high energy. So no, sorry. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That was 17, so we have 3 more. Folks, chat, what if we get it at like question 20? How wild would that be? Okay. I already asked wonder. I was thinking about wonder again. Attentive? Is it attentive? Like you're feeling attentive? That's kind of close to curious. You're focused. You're really present. You're thinking about stuff. Is it attentive? It's not a common word emotion thing that I would think of. I think, is attentive low energy, says Crow. Gosh, that's a good question. Is attentive low energy? Lori says grounded. Yeah. Grounded is a good word. Mimi says feel like, yeah, don't know. Maybe you just described a lot of what my head is like right now. Feel like, yeah, don't know. I am totally there. Attracted is an interesting one, but I guess that would be more high energy. Yeah, I think attracted would be a bit higher energy. Claire says no, it's not attentive. 19 and 20. We have 2 more questions left. Okay. I'm going to look up a feelings wheel. I got 2 questions left, so I feel like I'm a little desperate. Chat, if you have a word you want to choose, let me know here. Okay, I am feeling very desperate. So, feelings wheel. Okay. Let me see what I got on my feelings wheel. Whoa, this is a big feelings wheel. Okay. Let me see. This is probably the one someone else was looking at. So near curious is joyful, free, cheeky, aroused, probably not that. Inquisitive, successful, confident, curious. Proud, interested, content, playful, respected, valued. Okay, we're getting close here to curious, joyful. We already asked joyful, free, curious, cheeky, inquisitive, successful, confident. That's the one you're looking at too. Let's do confident. Claire, is it confident? I think confident, I don't know how confident would be related to food. Maybe in like trying new foods, confident would come there. Okay, Kat, I didn't ask, is it something people experience often or more rare? The closest question to that is it unexpected? And it can be unexpected. It was the second question I learned. Yeah, Crow says I keep going back to the food. That's one of the ways 20 questions can really mess you up. This is where I feel like this is so hard. Cheater, McCheaterson face, AI is helping. I use the feelings wheel here. I did use feelings wheel here, but I was actually thinking if I put this against AI, if I give all the answers to AI, would AI be able to answer it for question 21? I wanted to do that as a test here to see if we can if AI can outthink me, which it probably can. No, it's not. It's not confident. Gosh. I am last question. I know. Last question. Yeah, well, maybe we'll use AI on that last one if we can't figure it out, and we'll give AI question number 21. Chat, have you? It's not confident. It's not attentive. It's not joy. It's not interested. It's not fascinated. It's not intrigued. It's not wonder, but it's close to curious. I want to say courageous. I'm an anxiety guy. Let's say courageous. My last guess, Claire, is courageous. And while I'm waiting for you to answer, I'm gonna get my AI ready because I'm probably wrong because I feel like that's just how this has been going. Okay. So Claire's saying, I think we're looking exactly at the same wheel when you riff them off, probably. Okay. So I am I'm getting ChatGPT ready here. So I am playing a game of 20 questions specific to an emotion. I am giving you only one guess here for what the emotion can be. Here's what I know. This is an emotion people like. It can be unexpected. It's a low energy emotion. It's not happy. It can be associated with eating. It's not satisfied, not surprise, not euphoric, not relief. It's close to curious, not wonder, not intrigued, not fascinated, not interested, not joy, not attentive, not confident. And is it courageous? Did Claire give us an answer here? No, sorry. Two doctors head to head. What will triumph? Apparently, not me. It's not. Okay, so it's not that. All right. Says want to say contentment. Not confident, and then not courageous. Okay. We're gonna give ChatGPT the last answer, the last guess here, and here we go. Let me pull this up. Give relief. Give me your one best guess as to what the emotion can be. Let's see. Let's see what ChatGPT 5 has to say about this. Not intrigued. Considering the right emotion, exploring emotion options, not interested, finalizing emotion, not joy, not attentive. Let's see. Not confident. Evaluating, reevaluating emotion options. An answer here? No, sorry. Two doctors head to head. What will triumph? Apparently, Crow says my last bottom dollar bet is contentment. Okay, so we're gonna feel so. All right. So. Says want to say contentment. I don't know what we're gonna feel. Not okay. Kat says I'm betting on peaceful. Oh man, how did I not think about peaceful? We're gonna peaceful give totally could have been an option here. The last guess here. ChatGPT is taking a long time here. Here we go. To guess this one. That makes me feel a little bit better. Not that it should have any bearing on how. Anticipation. Okay. Claire, is it anticipation? ChatGPT says anticipation. Is it anticipation? I wasn't thinking of anticipation at all. That's a pretty good guess. Ritu says AI is confused. That's because it's a very difficult word or emotion that has been chosen. Crow says already lost on euphoria. Yeah. Lori's hearing the stream twice. That should not be happening. Oh, was it because of I had this in the other window? Was that why? Hopefully not. That would be really annoying. I'm sorry if that was happening. Oh, there's feedback when I go on another screen. That's... Oh. It's because I had the window open so I could have the chat on here. Now I know. Okay. Sorry, folks. That would be really annoying. Sorry. I know why that was happening. Okay, it's Kat says we're all in anticipation waiting. Yes. Is it anticipation? If ChatGPT beat us on this, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Oh, Crow, that's very sweet of you. my smooth voice makes it okay. Welcome to the smooth sounds of Dr. Ali late at night. It's Dr. Ali late at night. At least late at night in California where I'm at. I can't believe I'm still up, folks. It's 3 a.m. over here. Nope, this looks like Dr. Wins. Looks like this Dr. Wins, sorry. Claire, what is it? Even the AI lost. What is this emotion? I totally thought it might be I totally thought it might be anticipation. What is it, Claire? What? Oh my gosh. Folks, we are all wrong. Claire totally stumped us. While 11 a.m. in the UK right now, says Joshua. Hello, Joshua in the UK. My wife is in the UK right now. She's in London on work. So you are much closer to my wife right now than I am. So here's what's happening. I am taking Emotion Detective, and I am erasing that because I do not want to play that game again. Not for a while. That game was totally not cozy brain for me. All right, we are all now in anticipation of Joshua's hey. Claire, what is it? Inquisitive? Oh, gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Inquisitive makes a lot of sense. Inquisitive, curious and inquisitive. That that makes sense. That makes sense. And I see how that might be related to food. I totally get that. That totally makes sense. Claire, well done. Well done. Nicely chosen, folks. I can't believe that was a thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, folks, I think that's wrap. So, Claire, thank you for playing along. Let's all give Claire a round of applause there. That was great. That was inquisitive that's great. That's a great word. That's a great feeling. That's you did good. You represented chat well on that, Claire. Thank you. Folks, this has been a cozy brain hour. You melted me. Yes, you did. Yes, you did indeed. I cannot believe that. A little bit of intensity can be comfy too, Doc. We were sweating. That's true. What is that song? Oh my gosh, what is that song? It's totally remind me the sweating. Frozen, the Broadway version. The songs. What is that song? What? Huga. Yeah. Huga. I love this word. Huga. Let me get the lyrics for Huga. Gosh, where are the lyrics for Huga? Huga. I want the lyrics. Man, my brain is just so not working at this time. But I feel like Huga means comfortable. Huga means cozy. Hyuga means sitting by the fire with your cheeks all rosy. Hyuga, ba. So I feel like, yeah, Hyuga is like chill and cozy, but you could also be sweating it out, like if you're in some kind of sauna, or if you're sweating because Claire's picked such a good word that you can't guess it. Oh man, nicely done. Kenneth says nobody expected the cozy brain inquisitiveness. I agree. And good job, everyone. All right, folks, this has been an awesome stream. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope this brought some coziness and some fun to your day, wherever you are, whenever you are, if you're watching this live or on the replay. I love doing these. I love hanging out with you all, and it's been great to hang out with so many people that I usually don't get to see on the feeds that I usually do. So I so appreciate you all in the community here. Okay Cat says, thanks for the stream, Doc. First time ever joining in the YouTube live. My brain feels cozy for sure. Good night and have a great one, Doc. Thank you for being here. Okay, Cat. Hope you had a lot of fun. Crow says, thanks so much, Doc. Thanks for representing Crow. Thanks for keeping me busy, even when there weren't as many people on the stream. Thanks for representing. Lori, good to see you. And Claire, thanks for being here. Thanks for everyone in Australia and Asia and now Europe. I feel like we had a little bit of a East Coast United States representation early on too. So thanks for being here, everyone. I'm going to be doing these pretty regularly, at least one cozy brain a week, cozy brain hour. I call it hour, but they're never hours. They're as long as it takes for us to achieve maximum coziness. All right, folks, hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll be back again next week for another live stream. And until then, keep boldly going. Bye, everybody.